What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. My name is SinTheOracle. I am your host tonight. With us in the voice channel today, we've got Miles of Acoustic Miles.
Hello.
We've got Sean of Drawn McG.
That's me.
We've got Teri of Devil Toad Witch.
Wait, are we rehearsing or are we actually live now?
And Moon of Moonstruck Dragon.
In the scaly flesh.
It's not gonna answer that.
Oh dang, we're live.
Heavy breathing, I'm sweaty.
I thought you were like rehearsing.
Oh, sorry.
No, if we were rehearsing, I would have said ahead of that, hey, do you guys want to rehearse our intro?
No, you wouldn't. Don't lie to me.
Stop pretending you would have done it.
Given the circumstances, you're right. It's entirely possible that I would not tell you that we were rehearsing. But we are live, and we are here at the Friend Fungus channel. How's everyone doing? How's everyone's weekend?
But it's Monday.
Yeah, so how was your weekend?
Oh, I thought you said how is.
I mean,
I'm not paying attention.
They tend to be.
It was pretty good for me.
Nice.
Had the exciting Friend Fungus Dungeons and Dragons, and then just had a very chill Sunday.
Yeah, how was D&D this week, you guys?
I mean, it was sort of exciting. You guys kind of just talked over my talked your way past my final combat encounter.
We ignored the fact that combat could happen, and we're just like, no, this is what we want to do.
Good. I love
always
that.
Me. I'm always D&D this Saturday.
Well, I worked, but I had a good time, and I streamed a bunch of dope ass anime, and then I had a day off that I didn't expect today. I had a random ass day off today, so that was pretty cool. So I had it's kind of still the weekend for me.
Did they do that thing where they called you at 4:30 in the morning?
Yeah, except they called me super late. They called me at like 5:50, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry we called this late." I'm like, it's cool. Like not
you
really
can call me
late.
literally anytime you want to tell me I don't have to work.
Yeah, right. You can call me at 2
Even
in
if
the
I'm
morning.
already at work, especially if I'm already at work, please tell me I can go home.
I've done that before. As I showed up to work and my supervisor was like, "You don't have to be here," and I was like, "Okay, bye."
That happened to me. That happened to me a long time ago. That happened to me. They're like, "Oh, we forgot. We could cancel somebody. Does anyone want to go?" And we, like, two of us raised our hands and they flipped a coin. And I drove home.
I've done that too.
Nice.
The only thing I did on my weekend was I sat outside in the woods and I read Merlin fanfiction.
Nice.
Fucking awesome.
Nice.
Oh, and I made a bunch of bread.
That's
that's
also
right.
wonderful. And now I want homemade bread.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was eyeing them rolls.
It all got eaten within like a day. I got to make more today. Or
Hell
tomorrow,
yes,
I guess.
it did. Yo, Nadine, I am so sorry that you have not found sleep.
Oh no.
I hope that all of our screaming just puts you right into dreamland.
Yeah, we'll do especially calming voices.
I think we should do especially screechy voices. Then Nadine's gonna be like, "Oh, I can't be here," and then she can try to sleep.
Nadine will just turn off the screen.
Nadine will seek the sweet release of slumber.
Nah, fuck these guys.
We'll make the waking world so unbearable.
That's just what I was born
That's just
to.
being awake.
That's just me being me.
You've described being awake, Moon.
I know.
Makoto as Shinji.
Yes, Shinji.
Ooh, Makoto as Shinji? I would definitely allow that.
Oh yeah, have we figured out who's doing what voices yet?
We have
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me?
Even a little bit.
Do that on the fly.
But I also don't know if anyone has died since I was here last, so...
Probably.
Possibly.
If I had to make a wild guess.
Well, we ended it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
we did end it on a cliffhanger.
looking through a door at a maybe dead body.
Dun, dun, dun.
We don't know yet.
Dramatic.
I haven't been here for like 3 streams.
Who?
I have no fucking
knows?
idea what's going on.
You saw a
I
figure
do.
in a chair. You saw a
So
figure
does
in a chair.
Miles.
That's all we saw.
I remember.
I know,
who we
the
saw
figure-
through
Yeah,
the window.
yeah. I remember who that
Right.
is.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a misdirect or we know that that's a body.
Exactly.
And I
That's where
kind of
we're
know. I can kind of figure it out because you guys are just like real bad at keeping secrets.
I don't know anything.
Oh no.
I know
Oh,
basically
no.
nothing.
Well, shall we get into it then?
at. Yeah.
Let's.
So,
Also, you missed my submerlinable and breadable joke.
No, I did see it, but
I did see it, but honestly,
did-
submerlinable, is that supposed to be
Submerlinable. Submerlinable. Because
honestly,
Merlin.
I was trying to
and
do you a
bread.
favor by ignoring it.
Exactly,
that's
same.
all.
I
thought that we could
also
all just let
chose
it go
to
as
ignore it.
active.
submerlinable and breadable. What's the
do you wanna
Merlin part
maybe-
about?
Yeah, do you
It's
maybe want to
honestly- it's-
explain it to us, Daimler?
It's an
having a little.
It's an unbreadable joke. I just can't. I can't deal with it.
Muted it. Wow, muted
Muted it
Writing.
That's wonderful.
Daimler, no matter where you go, there you will be muted by
I didn't
Teri.
know.
You may walk this earth 1,000 years, and there you will be, muted by Teri.
I didn't
It is-
know.
I curse
You-
to
you-
hear everything. It is Terry's to hear nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? There was a. I think it was an episode of. I think it was an episode of Black Mirror where they had that technology where you could like literally block people IRL.
Yup.
Oh wow.
If that ever happens, Terry's gonna get it and just by happenstance, like she'll turn it on and Daimler will already be blocked.
Black
No,
Mirror
just-
copied.
No,
Just
wait.
perma-muted for the rest of his life to her.
I don't know that episode, but what if you just got like you purposely made yourself blocked by everybody, and then you could do anything you wanted with no.
Well, it's not like they can't see you. They can see you. You're just like this, like you're covered in static, basically. and
Yeah,
you
but they
can't
don't know
even
it's
hear.
me. If
That was
I am
kind of-
so insufferable that everyone in the world blocks me, nobody will know that I'm the one committing crimes.
That was kind of spoilers for that one episode of Black Mirror. That was
I haven't
kind
seen
of the point at the end is that
Oh,
once Bryce Dallas Howard's character was blocked by all of the people in her life, she was
Oh, wow.
finally free because her friends' expectations were holding her back or some shit like that. I don't know.
yeah, no, see, I
Wow.
would take that and do crimes.
Can I just say that
Interesting.
this very moment just now has heavy deja vu for me, and it started when Sean began explaining.
Am I crazy? Because me too.
Really?
But I'm also
Wow.
a little bit tipsy.
For-
so.
Have I explained that
once, I
episode of
don't.
I don't know if it was
Nope.
that episode, but I feel like this like a very similar moment where you were like, not for nothing, but here's a spoiler.
They do say
I have said that
And
before.
it was something like this where it was like that was kind of the whole thing. Da da da. I don't know. I got mad
very good at
deja vu.
guessing.
I
I'm
probably
good at
also
guessing the
used
points
the
of
exact
things.
words "not for nothing," but here's a spoiler.
It's
very neat.
Also, not to be a theater nerd on Maine, but are any of you familiar with Be More Chill?
No.
Be more chill.
Oh.
Yes, because
No, I'm
there's
not,
a
but you
similar
should always be.
there's a
theater
similar
nerd.
thing about being basically blocking people from your site. It's
I do
an
that
ability
anyway.
that a supercomputer in the show has.
That's called I
Oh.
close my eyes and cover my ears and go la 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 la.
That's
Well,
called-
see, in
that's
Be
called
More
I'm not
Chill,
speaking to you.
it's used at a really, really emotional moment,
Sin is I sing
at,
the
like,
bathroom
a
stuff.
point
Oh.
of betrayal, and it's so hurtful but wonderful.
That sounds like theater in a nutshell. It's so hurtful but wonderful.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Pretty
that's
much.
true. But also, the original Be More Chill is better than the Broadway. Just saying.
I've never gotten to see a live show in person.
Have you ever seen a live show?
Yes,
Dog?
Daimler, yes. Michael in the bathroom.
I mean, I am a bitch, so
such a
everything
good
I
song.
see is in dog.
Go under the desk.
God.
Get under that.
Come on,
desk.
come
Get
on.
out
You,
of here.
you set that up for me. You
Under
set
the
it up.
desk.
Okay.
You know what's great?
Everyone
Is
under
that
the
I
desk.
also- you know what's great is that I have a standing desk, so I can raise it and just kind of like only just do a little crouch under there, as
Just
opposed to like
under
really
there.
like getting under there.
Sin's in California. Sin has a standing desk. Sin is so much more fit than me eating a donut at my sitting desk.
Oh my god! What the fuck? Hey, it's a
Okay.
gym raid!
Oh shit!
Oh, good.
Save me.
Shall we all prepare our finest honks? Shall I count us all in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please.
All at once.
Yes.
Okay, please, everyone.
Rip
3.
headphone music.
And Teri, just so you know, it's gonna be 3, 2, 1, hyong.
Okay, I don't know if I trust you, but I'm gonna go for it anyway.
3, 2, 1,
Damn it, I knew it, Snaggle. Freaking knew it.
It's me, I'm the traitor. Oh, Snaggle
Oh,
just reeked of traitor.
Someone was off key.
It was me.
Yeah,
Wait,
I also
Second verse.
Win-one.
did not have the breath support to match what you guys did because I did not prepare myself for it properly.
I could not.
Are you the one
contain
that was
my
off in the
laughter.
distance laughing hysterically, Moon?
Maybe.
I'm
I
pretty
I
sure.
heard someone towards the end just like not able to chill anymore and was just laughing.
I think that was me.
Good. Kaz is like, remember when you guys said you would be nice and soothing for Nadine? That was a lie.
That was a.
That was definitely a lie.
I mean, we said we would be that way for about 3
I just want to
seconds.
clarify the record that Sean's the only one who said that, and I did not agree. In fact, I vehemently opposed it.
I don't think that I agree. I think we all said we were just gonna make ourselves insufferable. I think that's.
Yeah,
that
that
was the
was-
consensus.
That was the final
I don't
decision.
think we needed to say that.
Damn!
Clear from the top.
I think that
Wait,
being
so did we
insufferable
want
went
to
without saying.
try that hyonk again? Because I mean,
don't think I
someone
can.
was off
I broke
key. Moon dropped out. I mean,
Okay, are we gonna take it from
Yeah,
the
do we
first
wanna-
or the second verse? Or
I think
where we-
just
where we
from the
picking up?
second. We don't have to.
Where's the pick?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so just from
You
the
know.
You
album?
should be here.
Okay.
I'm right here.
Listen, you remember when you said
I don't know-
it's
I don't know
10
if I
minutes
should
of
go, like, a
bullshit? We
high
are
note?
coming up on 20 minutes.
I think it's getting closer to half an hour.
Tell me
this
why
is a
we don't
good-
just have a podcast at this point.
This is a
Like, I
good,
feel
a good, healthy amount of bullshit.
like-
This is the amount of bullshit that I like. But let's get started.
Oh, I wasn't rushing you. I was just.
God damn it!
We
Let's change
changed
the
the
title.
title.
I guess. You should, Kaz, if you can, just have the entire original title struck out, and then the new title
Yeah.
immediately after.
The new title is quote unquote just on our bullshit.
I wish you could just fully in handwriting annotate your entire Twitch page to like cross shit out. And, like,
That would be so much
hold on.
fun.
Wait, we didn't decide who's doing what voices. We can't start.
Of course we can. We're gonna decide
wait.
right now.
Well, I think
Uh,
it was Shinji Makoto, right?
Who's Sean? What were you gonna do with Makoto?
The only thing I said was I was going to give someone a Donald Duck voice, but I cannot do that.
But I did.
Well,
Oh,
why
I did,
not?
I did also
Okay.
say I was going to do Makoto as Shinji, but I'm not sure I can do that right now.
That's what it was. Makoto is
That's
Shinji.
okay.
So that's
I
a
know.
lot. That's a lot to commit to. For
I mean, I could
Well,
do
make
Valley.
Makoto
Are you afraid or something?
Do not make me
I'm not
Makoto
afraid.
unless you want everything.
I'm just kidding. I won't do that to you.
I mean, I could do Valley Girl Makoto again.
I do mispronunciation Makoto, and that's all I have.
Owie Goofy? I can do Owie.
Can someone bring back Owie Goofy?
I can be Owie Goofy.
Please. Gorge.
Ooh.
I'll fucking do it again.
Wait, should we? Wait, who would be willing to just absolutely butcher a Donald Duck?
Everyone do their Donald Duck impression.
Alright, let's go around the circle.
Oh no. I can't.
I can't even physically imagine how to do it.
I can't either. I don't know what he sounds like.
Are we
Norman,
auditioning
baby.
on this line?
Norman.
I think we might be.
Sorry. Oh no, you're gonna kill your voice.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself, but that was very funny.
I just have to speak only from my throat and not my mouth.
No. You are going to destroy your entire throat system.
We have to
Maybe
laugh.
that's what I want.
Norman!
Maybe I wish to speak never again.
I was gonna say something really mean. I didn't.
Say it. Oh my god, say
it. God, I hope so.
Oh!
Teri, that's rude as hell.
Hi, Norman!
I did warn you this time.
Like now we were like, let's get started, and then we were like, nah, let's
Hang on, wait, maybe I should change the title while we're at it.
Okay, so
still on our bullshit.
Do you want nodes, Sin? That's how you get nodes. Give me the nodes, baby. Give me the nodes, baby. Free my soul.
Alright, I'm gonna take initiative here and just be Makoto.
There you go, Moon. There you go, Moon.
Cool, I'm Makoto. It's gonna be Valley Girl Makoto again, because that worked way too well.
Alright.
Also, hi, Rob. Alright. Shall we begin?
Yeah.
Yes.
I might just be dying off mic for a bit.
Is it?
Alright.
Hi, Rob. Please, Moon, go for it.
Okay.
Please.
Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in a chair, like she's bowing her head.
Roll for it.
I'll be Kyoko.
Ooh.
I'll take on a Kyoko. Okay, dry SpongeBob, right?
Has to be.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it! What's going on? Did something happen to her?
Oh, wait a minute. What?
Oh wait, who's gonna do Goofy?
You do it, Mike.
Oh, it was Goofy. All right.
This is a.
Oh, what's up?
I was just gonna say you do it if this is a
Oh,
recurring Miles voice.
I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window. You know.
Amazing.
Sean, could I ask you to take voice roll notes in the streaming text channel?
No. Yes.
Thank you, baby.
No, you may not ask.
Can't. I don't know who's here.
The door open. I tried knocking and tried calling her name.
Hi, Bash.
Ooh, hey. But she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we gonna do?
Anyway.
First of all, we need to get into that room!
But the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations.
We're going to force our way in!
I just said...
The door isn't locked! It's not locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock.
Huh? Then why?
It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair?
Chair?
Chair Young.
In other words,
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. It's like bordering on Piglet from Winnie the Pooh.
It's not.
It's really not.
It's not actually.
I hear a little bit of Piglet in there.
We must have been watching different Winnie the Pooh then.
I'm a little
So
bit
there must have been something
afraid.
wrong with my TV growing up.
Then there's no problem if we break in?
Thank you, Besh. Besh gets me. Besh and I
You know-
are on the same
You know, now that I think about it, Sin, I don't remember what Piglet sounds like, so you're probably right.
Oh, dear.
Okay, now that I hear them back to back, yeah, they are closer.
Yeah, okay, we were in.
Okay, yeah, we were wrong. My bad.
I will not
Sorry.
admit to being a
I'm sorry.
Arthur, hi.
Hi, Arthur.
Arthur!
Moon,
Name
did you
of my
read this
cat.
line and I missed it?
I think I did, but I can read it again.
If you wouldn't mind.
Then there's no problem if we break in?
indeed.
Let's smash the window! That should be the fastest way!
Okay, I'll get something to break it with. Oh, Doris, wait right here.
idiot. Just wrap your freaking fist in the jacket
Does that actually work on real
Yes.
glass?
if you know how to break it.
That's hot.
Terry,
Gotta-
Terry,
gotta
you
aim
would
for the right
know how
part
to
of it.
break it.
No, read your line.
Did I get too close to the truth? Are you deflecting?
I don't. I'm track.
She goes, what? No, read your line.
Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, but so I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence. Silence. But that silence
Silent.
didn't last long.
Here! I found a broom in the classroom. Use it.
You can handle this, right, Makoto?
But no.
Come on, please hurry.
Okay, you two stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could, aiming directly at the window. All it took was one solid hit.
Crash!
Crash! The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor.
I counted.
Did you count it? Oh. Damn it, Sin. Stop making the same joke as me.
But I love you.
He has to go home and change.
And it's not gonna be me.
It's not gonna be
I was on
me.
the verge of making the same
get out of my
joke.
head.
Too slow, Sid. Too slow.
I guess that means I'm going home and changing.
It's a race to the finish of the jokes at this point.
I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, But if I can just... I pushed on it with all my might. And finally, the knob turned. Sakura!
Makoto is great.
Sakura.
I run up to her as fast as I could.
Hello?
But the moment I laid my hand on her...
Nyanners is here. Oh,
I know.
Nyanners
Nope,
is not
Nyanners
here.
is gone.
Well,
Sadness.
oh man.
Oh, wow.
Sakura?
Wait, is she like petrified?
This scene.
Look at that light.
All I felt was cold death.
Yeah, that lighting is dramatic as fuck.
It sure is.
It's gorgeous, but so
I
sad.
know. This is like really like... I actually really like this drawing.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Not to break the dramatic moment, but those of us who watched Rafi, you remember the lasagna drawing? I think Jacob drew it, and it made Julia order lasagna for dinner.
I think I do know what you're talking about.
It was the same
Sounds
like
right.
brush stroke pattern that they have for the light. It was like the same brush.
Oh.
To be honest, anything.
Yes. Wasn't that a portrait?
Yeah, it was like a self-portrait. No, it was the anti-style video, I think.
Oh, okay. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a self-portrait. And it made Julia go on a whole bit about buying lasagna for dinner and sending it to everyone's respective
Cass is asking the real questions. Cass is asking the real questions.
I mean,
Yeah.
A little bit, yes.
Make me want
Just a little
lasagna
bit.
now. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Y'all are making
Enchiladas
lasagna.
just got here, but I want lasagna.
Ooh, enchiladas.
Call your
Enchiladas are
daughter
also-
back and say, "Take this back. I want lasagna.
Enchiladas
Get me a
are also
lasagna.
really
Get me a
good, though.
lasag instead."
Yo, I'll take your enchiladas.
It's a little related, but I made 6 pounds of meatballs yesterday, and now I really want some of them
That
meatballs.
sounds good.
Oh
Nice.
man.
There was a lot of meat that was gonna go bad, so
That's a lot of meat.
Have them balls.
I made balls. Anyway,
Alright. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body,
very dramatic all of a sudden.
and then
Ding dong, ding dong.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Who's being
Who's-
Monokuma?
that's what I'm gonna figure out right friggin' now.
Yeah, baby.
I vote
Sean,
Teri.
obviously you don't have anyone.
Yeah,
that's
make
me.
Sean do it.
Oh, I'm the only one without anyone.
Yeah, totally. I've got,
Fuck, Terry too. Wait. I'm
sorry,
gonna-
I had
I'm just
Terry,
gonna
remember
clarify
I
though.
said that a lot of the time I'm high for this?
had
I'm gonna
Teri
coast
muted,
the
so
whole
I
stream
forgot
just
that
for
she-
biting
You're just gonna be here commentating. That's such a fucking Terry move though, is that you're just here, you're like not doing what anyone else is doing.
No, I'm just.
And you're just there commentating.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ready, Terry, rock, paper, scissors.
Oh Jesus! 3, 2, 1, shoot!
3.
But you gotta,
2,
but hold on, you both gotta type your
No, no.
answers in chat.
Oh fuck! Which chat?
Stream text.
streaming
so I can-
text.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we can see
Okay.
you both typing.
Okay.
Yeah, so both
Okay.
type it up,
And then I'll count you down, and then you gotta type your answers at the
Why
same
does
time.
someone just flip a
Okay.
coin?
Gotta type it or type
No,
it
because this is
now.
more fun. This is different. This is different and
No,
exciting.
This is fine.
type it, but don't
Nobody
hit
in chat
send.
can see what we're
Type it
doing.
now, count us down.
Okay, I typed
Okay.
it. I typed it.
You're both
Enter on
typed?
3. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, shoot.
Okay, I'm gonna go
On
3,
shoot.
2, 1, and then you hit enter. Okay.
Wait, winner gets it or winner gets to just commentate the whole stream? It's important.
You'll find out when someone.
Oh,
wins.
no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
whoever
winner
wins
gets
gets Cumanimo.
Okay.
They'll make it easy. Whoever wins gets Cumanimo.
I don't know what that means. Sure.
Count us down, Sin.
Okay. It's gonna be 3, 2, 1, enter. Are you ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go! God damn it, Terry!
I think that means Teri is Kumamino.
So just so everyone in chat understands what just happened, they both pressed enter, and Sean wrote paper. Solid choice for rock, paper, scissors, I gotta say. And Teri, well, Teri wrote dynamite, so...
It beats everything!
So that's gonna be Teri's Cumanimo.
Oh no. I meant to coast the whole stream. That was what I thought
you were breaking the rules. Joke's on you. Improv is allowed here.
Oh no.
Hey!
If you thought I wasn't gonna yes and your dynamite, Teri,
get
the heck out of here.
You stupid idiot.
Yes and me, baby. Oh god,
you were gonna get us to this.
I did not think ahead. I didn't think I'd have to do it.
I didn't think this far.
I didn't think this far ahead. Oh well, I have one voice.
You have such himbo energy right now.
This is why you can't joke on a comedy channel.
Oh god, are we supposed to be funny?
You're doing fine.
You naturally are.
You said you have 3 voices. Just choose one.
You already know which one it is.
I do.
A body has been discovered.
Perfect. I love it.
Good.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. That was an accident.
No, it wasn't. No, it fucking wasn't.
It was.
No, it fucking wasn't.
I have been pre-gaming for over an hour.
You tricked yourself. Oh my god.
Yo.
Hitting goers.
Oh, yo. Sakura's. Sora. I mean, Sakura.
Oh my god, I was literally gonna ask you to do that.
We're all same brain today.
Dad. She's really dead.
Okay, get back in the moment. Back in the moment.
I keep forgetting how stupid Makoto looks.
Oh.
Take that back.
I heard
Cool as
Hina
shit.
talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body.
Nice.
We didn't make it in time! It's happened again!
Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? Like, that's the only thing you do at an investigation?
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others.
On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room.
I just read Kaz's comment. Help! It's again!
It's again! And I? Why? Why did this have to happen?
Help! It's again!
That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again.
I need to examine Sakura's body!
I just stood there, motionless behind her, while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed.
Do that. I'm sorry. Am I going insane, or did we just stand by while Kyoko checked Sakura's body twice in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I think
wait.
that happened. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, sort of. Well, she did like a preliminary check.
And then she did her reality check.
And then she did her more invasive one.
Oh,
Yeah, she had to turn and to us in the middle and tell us what she was doing, because we were like, she's checking for a pulse on a dead body.
Oh, Makoto.
I would have also turned turned to us to explain what I was doing.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
This line right here has the same kind of energy as and I felt the feelings I felt, or whatever the fuck it was.
I felt as
And I was feeling my feelings.
I was feeling as desperate as I was. I
was as desperate as I felt.
Yeah,
yes.
that's
what it was.
desperate as I
I
felt.
was as desperate as I felt. It's one of the
I
best
was as
lines.
desperate as I felt, and I was as sorry as I was.
Well, I stood there, unable to do a thing. Time just passed.
Bill Makoto.
Also, I need you all to know that
and then Cher comes in.
I gesture with my arms when doing that voice. Like I can
tell.
move.
There's real emotion in it.
Yeah, like I have to physically perform.
I've decided to change Monokuma's voice. Feel free to be surprised by it.
Ooh.
I don't care if it's allowed. I'm
I'm alright.
Do it anyway.
It's okay. I'm full. Thank you.
No more for me.
The moment, whether I'll be surprised or not.
And after I don't know how long.
Oh, hold on. Something popped up in front of my thing. Oh, there we go. I got everyone.
Oh shit.
Well, there
that's
you
me.
go, Sean.
The only one I wasn't prepared for.
Perfect.
Wow! Oh god!
So much so that he's not even on your list. And you put Alter Ego
Yeah.
on there. And Sayaka.
Oh, I have a request for Alter
Obviously,
Ego.
Sayaka's on the list.
You have a request for Alter
No,
Ego?
I request that Moon do GLaDOS for Alter Ego.
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
Is Alter Ego in this chapter?
I'm not sure.
What? I don't know what that means.
Actually,
see.
they were earlier, so they should be.
At some point.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Hey, we'll
I
find
wouldn't
out.
Smashed.
Oh my.
Computer. Right, roll for it, or do we want to rock paper scissors?
Jill.
Oh, it would be Miles, Sin, and I. The non-Makoto, non-Kumanimo.
Folks. Yeah, we can roll.
Yeah,
this.
probably.
I'm
If I'm-
Whatever.
Yeah.
gonna say I kind of feel strongly about playing Jill.
Take it then.
So do it.
But,
Yeah.
but
take
if
her.
you would like to do someone new, because I don't think you've done Toko and Jill before.
I've done them like briefly before in a one that they weren't in a lot.
I see.
They weren't a lot.
They
Weren't
just
a lot.
They weren't a lot. I feel that.
They weren't
Sometimes
a
I'm
lot.
not a lot.
I mean, that's impressive for them, because
Hell, it's again.
Jill and Toko are quite a lot.
Yeah, they're fun.
Well then I would love to take Jill.
Alright.
Go
Do it,
for it.
Howard.
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
There she is.
Talking with your tongue out, aren't you?
I sure am.
Miles, do you want to fight me for this?
I could care less if you want it.
I will take it then. If you're alright being along for the ride for most of this. Except
Oh, wait,
it's
'cause
Goofy.
there's no more rolls.
Wait, what? How many people died?
A lot of people have
Most
Yeah.
people
Oh, no.
are dead.
Yeah, you haven't been here in a while.
The
The last
only other
murder-
option is if you take Alter Ego for Moon, which you
Alter Ego.
Alter
fuck
Ego
it.
is a computer.
Yeah,
No,
I'm,
don't tell me. It's fine.
And I'm fine if you want to flip a coin and leave it to chance.
I'm good for now.
Do rock, paper, scissors.
I
Worked so well last time.
Always a pretty big part of this chapter, so if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I imagine so, because she's being...
Well then, Sean, go ahead and take Byakuya.
Sakura's been killed, I see.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
I love
You're
it.
like the lion.
Yes.
You're like the King Tiger in the Robin
Robin
Hood.
Hood.
Never mind. Ignore me. You know what I'm talking about, Miles.
I do know what you're
Yeah.
talking
Prince
about.
John.
Very
Or
good.
no,
That's
King
better
Richard.
than what I was
King
trying
Richard,
to do.
or
Then.
something
King
like
Richard,
that.
yeah. Who is a lion.
Was it a lion?
He's like a
Yes,
really
because he's
scrawny
King Richard the
lion.
Lionheart.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold up,
It's
y'all.
King
It's
Richard
about
the
to be
Lionheart,
20
so-
PST.
Oh,
Oh,
wait,
shit, I'll
can I
take a
get my
shot.
shit ready? Get my shit ready.
Oh boy.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You've
man,
got-
10 seconds, y'all.
Oh,
Yep.
It's 7:20 for
shit.
me, but I'll still
Oh,
Five.
shit.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Drugs!
Oh.
Anyway.
There we go.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
You forgot what I
gonna
did.
say that! No!
I know you were, but what was I? The same damn thing.
Stop being the same person. It's creeping everyone out.
Nice
I love
gurgling right
it,
on everyone's
personally.
ears. Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
I just realized it's my line next.
Mm-hmm.
Most always, Moon.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I just didn't actually read it. Okay. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
I like to imagine Kyoko's always making that noise, like no matter what's going on.
Oh, I have adopted this from Sean. Sean was doing this last week and it was hilarious. So
I
hat
mean,
tip,
like,
so
even
hat
if
tip to
they-
them.
Even if the character's not talking, it's just.
She's constantly floating around the room, just going.
Honestly, Sean, thank you for that.
Well,
I think it's a wonderful
thank you for
addition.
carrying it on. I like it.
Of course, it is honestly my pleasure.
It makes Kyoko feel like a zombie, which honestly I'm here for.
Yeah.
Like, I could believe that she's a zombie.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means.
Sakura was murdered by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It was one of you. Hero, Miyakuya, Coco. Why do you kill Sakura?
Yeah.
I think the pronunciation of that middle name, if you're doing a goofy voice, is
Kaz brings up a really good point that you are responsible for both floating Kyoko and voice imitation in flashbacks.
Ooh.
Trendsetter.
That's right.
Yeah. You're real powerhouse on this stream.
I'm an ideas guy.
Move, shake, money, verb,
You got
shaker.
all the things you're saying right now, Teri, are completely and wholly correct and not wrong.
Just let it go, dude.
That was honestly like the tastiest word salad.
I'm not sure if she should be proud for that, but I am. I don't care if I should be.
Yes, be proud for
I'm
that.
very proud of that. I'll never forget when it just gave me a whole screen wall of names that I had to fight through.
That was amazing.
We're gonna like, here we go, alright.
Anyway, let's move on.
Whoa! You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation.
I don't need to investigate anything. Because you hated her. You hated the side of her. One of you did it. I know it.
I'm gonna guess this is Monokuma.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
You
think it's
know it?
Kumanimo.
Kumanimo.
Yes!
Geez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
Good.
What are you doing here?
Come on.
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer.
I like it. I like
That's
this
right.
voice.
It's the next Monachma file. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. And don't get so mad, Miss Asa Heiner, or you're gonna ruin that little lewd face of yours.
Oh God. Call it a lewd face.
Don't call it a
Yeah,
lewd face.
no,
now you're just like
late.
now you're just
It's
like
too late.
Jill.
Honestly,
No,
it's too
Toko
late.
actually
It's
said
already
that
been
shit.
said. It's too late.
Toko was saying that shit. No, he wasn't even Jill. It was Toko.
It was Toko.
Yeah.
Toko's
That's
more
right.
Toko's more vindictive with it.
Yeah.
Jill's just like "Wah, big titties. Like, that's pretty much it.
Now then, with that,
Hold on. There's something I want to ask you.
Huh?
It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura?
Huh?
Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel.
Makes me uncomfortable that there's a dead body in the very peripheral of our vision.
Oh God, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I find it very interesting. Maybe you and her fought again, and then...
In other words...
Then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. You idiot. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. As even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that in the ring. I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one.
You owe them one.
Oopsie, before you get all pissy poopy at me. You better figure out who did it first.
Don't you mean pissy pee-pee?
If you can't handle me at my...
I've already said it. I'll say pissy pee-pee or pissy poopy as many times as you want me to, so you hit next. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line tonight at 5 p.m. EST, am I right?
Ooh.
Who are you trying to? Who are you being?
I don't
Who
know.
is this?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
it feels like an old-timey announcer, and I like it.
That's
I
vaguely what I'm
want
going
you
for.
to wear like a fedora while doing this voice. Like
All
some...
right, I am ashamed to admit that I have one.
Thank you.
Just peeking out.
What the hell? He owes them one.
I also have a 10-gallon cowboy hat.
I hate him. I hate this whole thing.
Kaz, that I feel like Teri's selling me tickets to a circus. It's falling apart.
Yes.
Our circus is falling apart.
Yes.
Wheels fell off a mile ago.
Exactly.
Well, I, for one, am glad that it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all.
How can you say that now?
Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun.
Excuse you?
I'm very
Excuse me?
excited.
You can't
I
just
mean,
do that.
that was a perfect line read. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Wait, what's that voice? I know that voice.
If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer! If we can't do that, we're all dead!
Then let's decide who will stand guard this time.
I'll do it, gosh damn it.
Hina?
I'm okay. Just let me handle it.
Uncover them. They are children.
Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
With Sora.
Okay. And Hina is guard number 1. But we need one more. Yoko! You.
Me?
You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly.
Jesus.
Consider that an order.
Wow.
Whoa.
This guy's real presumptuous.
Don't worry, that's not suspicious.
An order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind.
What the fuck, girl?
Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we?
Hold on. For that, there's something I want to say.
Which is...
Hero. Yeah! That's right. Coco.
It was beautiful.
None of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What if you killed Sora? I won't let something like that from anywhere near her.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to Okay, bye. It's fair.
I don't care what you say.
Well,
But it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm letting go.
Next line is so good!
I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, they're just about to say it. Surely I can click next, right? Turns out I'm the presumptuous one.
Ooh.
What I'm trying to say is I'm the asshole.
Oh, sick. We already knew.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
and you're so forgiven because I'm still here.
Forgiven.
Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here.
Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear now.
I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me.
This is literally all he's saying right now.
Yes,
I know, he's
literally
just
nothing
sounds.
worse. You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Wow. Nope, don't really care. I'm gonna spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master. Anyway. God.
You, hero, do you really object?
Am I the asshole?
If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
I feel like you have 700 cotton balls. No
That's
more,
exactly
no
how I'm
less.
doing that voice. I have to spit them out between characters.
Then it's
That's dedication.
decided.
It's called dedication. God damn it!
Hey!
You're just jealous!
I finally did a same brain tonight.
How
I
am
can
reading
die in
everyone's
peace.
minds?
Did you read this line?
It's decided.
I did read it actually.
Nothing's decided.
God damn it, Kaz.
Glad that you have the number for that.
Kaz probably just has the spreadsheet open all the time.
Oh, maybe.
And if not, they know how to get to it very easily.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request.
What?
Hey,
We have to find out who killed Sora.
correct.
For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory,
Oh, gosh. Fine. I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Kuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her.
Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen,
that's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
listen to me.
all of us face execution.
Thank you for
Finding-
explaining the premise of the game.
Right? Like,
It's
done
not
this
a bad
few
reminder that
times.
like
So
your lives are
listen.
literally on the line.
You guys are joking, but I actually didn't know that was a thing.
oh yeah, if they get the killer wrong,
if we
they all
accuse
die.
the wrong person, everyone except the real Kyler is killed.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Has
wondering.
anyone here seen or played a sequence where you incorrectly guessed either by accident or on purpose?
No.
Yeah. And
What
there's like
happens?
a whole ending for that. It shows you having like a whole death sequence sort of thing.
Does the way that you die depend on which chapter it is? Do you know?
Nope. And there's a sort of similar thing that'll happen if you do something else some other time, but it's different. It's like wild. But basically, if you fuck up, there's like scenes for if you fuck up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Finding out who killed Sakura.
Thank you, Miles.
No problem.
It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of hopeless hope.
Jesus.
Every once in a while, Makoto decides to be a poet, and it is so cringy.
It
True
is.
sign of a himbo.
We have
I was as desperate as I was.
no Makoto's not a himbo. He's just a bimbo.
Yeah.
Yes, fair.
Regular
The
type.
regular one.
Just a regular
type.
bimbo.
Oh god, he's not even a shiny.
Nope.
No, a shiny Makoto doesn't exist.
Makoto is that rodent at the beginning of the adventure that you just box immediately when you can.
Rattata.
Exactly. Like maybe
And it's a-
he's useful for like very specific situations,
He's
like
not.
cutting or
Always
surfing.
thought he was so
But
cute.
like other than that, like you throw him back in the box, man.
You put him right into
You
hell.
don't want to beat ass with
Right.
Eradicate? You don't want to whoop ass with Eradicate?
No,
No.
No.
not
Yeah.
super.
You don't.
I
No.
mean, Gary's Eradicate died, and that's why he was in Violet Town. But
Exactly.
anyway,
Get out of my brain, bitch.
I know.
I was
too
like
much.
literally like 10 seconds before I was like, Gary's fucking Eradicate, man.
Had to
Do
just
you
America.
just want to do the stream yourselves?
No, because
Are we interrupting something?
It's just me and Teri saying the same thing back at each other.
Yeah,
over and
just
over.
in sync.
each other's.
Are we interrupting like
Y'all
drift
y'all could
compatibility?
do that for a whole of the like
I think that's called a
Frungus
podcast.
podcast. Y'all will get
Teri,
your
you wanna-
episode.
You want to be
Yes.
on my stream soon?
I've never wanted to do that more in my life, which isn't saying much, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Okay.
anyway.
Anyway,
We have no choice but to just do it.
Let's do it.
There we go.
I'd better check the Monokuma file. Oh, my bad. The Kumanamino file before anything else.
oh, that's what you guys meant when you're saying Kinomino.
Yeah, Humanimo.
Look, when I'm confused about things, I do not ask for clarification. I just
And we
Humanimo
certainly don't help
Humanimo
either.
is Mizbach's creation.
Hey, see, I just wait
Yep.
until things become clear to me. Or they
Yeah.
don't, and then it wasn't meant for me.
Did you read this full line, or did we interrupt?
Yes,
you?
yes.
Yeah,
She did.
I
Yeah.
did.
I don't interrupt.
The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon.
On lunch.
So before we proceed, I
So
just wanna
early in the
say-
day.
I do wanna throw out a reminder, like when someone starts speaking their line, like give them the floor. Like wait until they're done with their line to say something if they start speaking.
Yeah.
I think that's just a good reminder for all of us, myself included, because I've been.
No,
a
I
little
get it, you're calling me out.
A little interrupting Ines.
I do love that you interrupted Moon to say it. Just
No, you'll notice that I waited until Moon was done saying their line.
I know. It's still funny.
The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood.
Jesus.
In there.
Been there.
Ouch.
Don't say that.
Make us worried about you.
Teri just goes, ha!
Right here in the middle of the stream.
Wait, is that not normal? Read the next line.
It's okay, it stops after an hour.
It's like 10-15 minutes tops. Anything after that, you should call the ER.
Nice! Humanimo file number 4 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge.
Why is that? And why is it any different than usual?
That's a very good point.
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room. Which means the Kyler would have had to escape somehow after barring the door.
So, if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
in other words,
In other words, this is a classic locked.
Oh, sorry.
In other words, this is a classic.
Locked room murder.
Oh, good.
A locked room murder? I guess you might... Yeah, my voice got stuck there for a moment. I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or like whatever.
There you go. Nice face.
That's it.
Thank
Tracks.
But could it really happen in real life and right before our very eyes like this?
Hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails?
Sounds like a tutorial
Oh,
prompt.
but I bet you're
It
gonna tell us.
I can
Please
tell by that
explain.
stupid look on your face that you have no idea what I just said.
I have no idea what's going on.
Well, no. Makoto knows what it is right now, but after Kyoko explains
you're
it, he
right.
won't.
Please, Kyoko, don't explain it to him.
Kyoko, please keep it to yourself. He'll know. He'll just know. Don't tell him.
Sure, if you don't mind.
God damn it, Makoto. Digging your own fucking grave.
I want every tutorial prompt to either be yes, no, or sure if you don't mind.
Yeah. It's funny though.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are
4 basic types.
the first type is when
The locked room is created after the actual crime is committed.
this simply means that the Kyler commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism.
I was
There
gonna
are
say I know how
numbers.
to. Sorry,
There are a number of variations.
sorry, I thought I was muted. I was gonna say I know how to lock the door with a string.
Nice.
Oh,
And
nice.
Already
then
did it.
She beat me to it. Wait, not this time.
Raise the murderer.
You would know how to do that, Teri.
Next line.
So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
correct.
The second type is when
The locked room already exists before the crime is committed.
Oh?
In other words,
basically, the Kyler uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch, and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door. Something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it.
How big are your door caps?
And you could
I know.
also use something other
I'll
than
show
a
you
gun or
sometime,
an
maybe.
arrow.
Oh, whoa.
For that case.
Yeah, I mean, you can set up a nail gun. You know what I mean? You can set up all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Or you do what happened in that one Sherlock episode.
Oh, I forgot so much of Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
Oh, that's me.
The third type is when
The Kyler stands.
Ooh.
The Kyler stands.
The third type is when
The Kyler stays in the room until it's opened up.
I love these long, juicy bits of yellow text for you.
I know, right?
Just-
Really get to stretch those sultry wings, baby. Baba.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us have it. Let us have it.
See, it's those voices that we should be using to put Nadine to sleep.
It's too late for that.
That's exactly why I waited until after she passed out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this wakes her up with like the really stark change.
Oh, beautiful.
What do you mean by that?
In other words,
they stay hit.
Wow, I'm sorry, that was loud.
A little.
They stay hidden, and when the door is opened, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. they pretend they showed up along with everyone else. And that's that.
That sounds like it could have been possible. Like, maybe.
It's true.
And the fourth and final type is when
It wasn't actually a locked room at all.
Not a locked room?
In other words,
by that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room.
Isn't that the same as the first type?
No. First type is committing the crime and then being able to lock the door behind you.
Oh, yes. By special method seals the room. Okay,
Yes.
My brain misinterpreted that as special method leaves the room. Okay.
You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible.
Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics.
Didn't we find bodies in the last murder in a locked room?
The last
no,
murder...
the room was locked and we couldn't get inside. Well, is it the same thing, really? Because the room was locked.
From the inside.
And then the person... Is that how it actually happened, though?
I don't know.
Well,
Wait, wasn't the
actually
last
there for
one the
that.
triple killing, or did I miss a killing in
double
between?
killing.
Double.
Double killing.
Double.
Oh, that's right,
Twice.
'cause
Twice.
yeah. I need to go back and watch the VODs, because I'm confused.
I should, but I'm not going to.
You know, that is your style, and
That's really crossed off
I
in front of me,
appreciate it, but like it's not for me.
That's
Oh,
fair.
like just based on my
plug, Kaz.
Oh,
Like, I don't-
baby, let me follow that little linky link real quick.
I
Dropping
don't
that promo link.
Oh wow! Oh, with the playlist.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail this into...
Playlist.
Well, I think I derailed it first.
We
Just
haven't
feel
gotten
like
past the first scene.
this game has
You're not wrong.
an unhealthy habit of not realizing that they're explaining things that have already happened.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
facts.
true.
Over exposition.
Anyway,
All right, so there are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
It's actually a 5th one that I just made up.
Sounds realistic.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. Combo.
I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can.
Yes.
And you totally couldn't tell, but I tripped over the word definitely.
It sounded so natural.
Well, definitely, definitely.
oh, definitely.
Well, definitely.
Definitely.
Oh, now you sound like Seuss from Gravity Falls. Oh, definitely, dude.
Oh,
Definitely, dude.
Well, definitely.
Definitely,
Definitely,
Well,
dude.
definitely. I tried to do a Seuss voice one stream, and it evolved into something else.
Miles, I'm so glad you do that. It makes me so happy.
I don't know why it does, but
You know what's so funny is like, because what happens to me is like, I have this literally automatic response to hearing someone else doing that and just going for it, just going, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But then my brain catches up and I'm like, oh, right, that was funny as hell. And I just fall to pieces. Definitely. That's probably how you spell it, Kaz.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. Anyway.
For Sakura, if nothing else.
Boom.
Because it's not like anyone else's lives are at stake here.
Oh. Not even fuck.
That's not a room.
What's that? Oh.
There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room. Does that mean like the poison from chapter 2 is finally becoming a thing?
What?
Chekhov couldn't have written it better.
It looks like a
protein drink.
And it's empty.
Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loves her protein. and she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
I wouldn't take the dart if I were you.
Okay, Kyoko. Kyoko, you sound different.
Just trucking along.
Kyoko.
Hey.
Give me a moment, Kyoko.
I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says like Chem A2. Oh, Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the chem lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange.
Huh? What is?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the can?
Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
Oh, but it's on top of the glass.
I think you're seeing it. I think you're seeing
And
it.
curiouser.
Oh.
Ding dong, bing bong. High lap.
I lay.
Hi,
Lep.
Lep Leo.
Yep.
Leperoni pizza.
Lep.
Leperoni pizza with the soda on the side. Soda
Lep.
on the side. Soda on the
Hold
side.
on, Seth.
correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also
Underneath.
it.
Sorry. Returning to
I
the
can't-
dehydrated.
I can't believe that they pointed that out after only one line. Like, they're picking up the pace just a little bit.
Yeah.
Why does that matter?
Oh, Makoto.
So,
Oh, pure, poor, innocent, stupid idiot Makoto.
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it.
You listening, Trash Chan?
Here, trash can, take this. Makuter will need it later.
Macooter.
Yeah.
Odo has a southern accent. It's Macooter.
I feel like it'll become an important clue later on.
An important clue? I'm not sure I see how.
Macooter.
Excuse me.
Good guess. Very good.
Fine.
Empty protein drink has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Macooter.
Cooter.
Macooter.
Oh my god.
Mahoto.
Okay, let's talk to this Bingus.
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away.
He's not even like trying to hide how much he despises me. I better go before he like crushes my soul completely.
Hey, Sean.
Right.
Are you a croissant bagel armadillo right
Only
now?
little.
Artmadillo!
Only little.
Are you an artmadillo under the desk?
Can I just mention how much it scares the shit out of me? When you do that, where I'm like, am I muted? Have I been muted this entire time?
Is someone talking? I don't
They can't hear me, right? What is happening?
Oh.
I'm spaced out for a whole hour, and they've been trying to get my attention.
Speaking of, we've been here for an hour and a half, and we're not through the first scene. I'm just putting that out there.
That's fine.
I
Egg! Egg! Goop.
Sora!
Sora!
Go, Sora.
Also, I know it's only been like an hour, but can we take a quick like 5 for bio and stretch break?
Absolutely.
Eat
I have
another
to be
donut.
like a racehorse.
Oh, you pee all
That was
over
just
like
a
a
quick
racehorse.
20-minute podcast at the start of the deal.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Gore, Sora.
Okay, be right back.
Gore.
See you soon.
Okay.
Press a like.
Oh no, heartless.
Hey, while they're while the cats are away, the mice are gonna smoke, right?
Oh, well, I have to eat this donut first.
You've got donut action?
I've been. Well, I was telling Terry about it earlier. I went to the orchard down the street. They make their own donuts.
Boy, don't talk with your mouth full. That's.
Oh, you heard me.
That...
You heard me. You know what I'm saying.
Egg, that is the exact right emote to use in this situation.
Give me a song.
Dude, I want a snickety snack. I
Well,
don't know what to have though.
I got these donuts and I got a gallon of chocolate ice cream that I'm saving
A
for later.
gallon of mayo? That's hot.
No, chocolate ice cream. Not mayo, ew.
I'd sit in a gallon of mayo. easily.
Yes, you found me out. God damn it! Damn it!
That's how you do that deep voice for tap. You just have donut in your mouth.
Oh yeah, this stuff in my mouth full of sugar and donut and
You have
weed.
fried chicken? I had fried chicken yesterday. Fried
Hey.
chicken gang unite.
That sounds awesome.
I had Roscoe's chicken and waffles delivered. It was amazing.
Cheers, Sid.
Dude, cheers. How'd you know that I just finished packing the bowl? You got that.
We cheers?
We're cheersing. Yeah, we're cheersing.
Fuck yeah, we're cheers.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Is that the voice of a small child?
Who?
Yo,
Oh?
while we're all just like hanging out, here's
Yeah.
some self-care reminders for ya.
Water your throat. Water your throat.
Don't forget to
Fair
stretch
warning,
it
my
out.
niece is home,
Don't
Water your-
forget to
but I'll
stretch
try
the
and mute if she's
bed.
loud.
Water your throat and stretch your buns.
And you know what? Just for good measure, here's a general self-care check.
Just kind
Small
of,
child. Oh wait.
just so you guys know, my niece is home. I'll try and mute if she yells, but I may miss it. Just fair warning.
Ah,
Loud in the background.
beautiful.
Mhm.
The chaos mustard soup. This is not a place of order. I punched the child. Ah! I punched the child. Don't punch the child. You kicked my dog.
I don't know, lad. I get a lot of food from my garden.
Sometimes you have to punt the child.
Dad cooked, which meant he picked up the fried chicken and started from the tail counter.
Oh my god, y'all. I found a big patch of clover in the woods the other day.
A big what?
Patch of clover.
Clovers.
Patch
Washed
of
them
clover?
up and had that shit as a snack. Yeah.
I gotta go shopping tomorrow
Did you
for
find
my
a
next week.
lick?
No.
No. If you found a lucky one, would you have eaten it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It
Eat the
tastes
luck.
really good.
Eat the luck.
Ooh.
I've never eaten clover, I think.
Really? It's just really sweet. I like the little, like, the flower buds before they bloom.
Oh.
They're
I
like
never
candy.
had that. Yeah, I never had those
It's
either.
really good. Y'all didn't just go in the woods and eat grass as a kid and figure out what tasted good?
All the little ghost pipe mushrooms have been coming up.
Nah, as a kid I was
Lots
allergic
of
to
them are.
everything, Terry.
Oh, yeah.
I was one of those
What
allergic
happened?
to everything kids. I wasn't trying to eat nothing outside. I wasn't even trying to be outside.
As a kid, I was only allergic to nickel and mushrooms, but my brother was allergic to beef. He still is.
Bitch, it was like every tree and blade of grass would like.
I was allergic to
Both
that
my nostrils.
attitude,
Oh yeah.
You know,
and I still
yeah.
am.
I was just a little
yeah.
barefoot redneck baby out in the woods eating grass because I was hungry.
Oh yeah. No, I couldn't do that.
It is
I
what
was
it is.
eating
Hey,
lots
are
of
those
chicken
are
nuggets.
those edibles?
Mhm.
Edibles mushrooms?
I can't eat mushrooms.
Oh yeah, Egg. See, Egg knows what I'm talking about. Like I was scared to mow the lawn and shit because of my allergy. Like I couldn't fuck with anything. People would talk about camping, and I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, scared to mow the lawn.
Yeah,
Scared, frightened, terrified.
my
I don't
allergies
like
were that bad as a
mowing the
kid.
lawn, if I can help it. Seems like such a waste. If I mow it, then I get like the bag and I'll just machete it down and then I'll feed it to the goats.
Try them,
Okay,
Egg, and
goats
let us know
outside
what
goats.
you find.
What's up?
Try
Try the
that.
mushrooms, Egg, and let us know what you find.
That's listen.
Go from thinking to knowing. Go from
Let us
knowledge
know
to
if you
wisdom.
die.
Yeah, it happened to me pretty recently, Egg. I tried this, it was supposed to be this like coconut oil based face lotion. I was like, oh cool, this will help my skin. And it just like completely fucking turned red and swelled up and inflamed. This shit was crazy.
Damn.
Sorry.
That was like last year. My eyebrows started getting like big as fuck. Not my eyebrows, like everything underneath my eyebrows were like all swollen. That shit was crazy. That shit fucked me up for like a day.
The only very serious allergic reaction I've had besides my skin allergy and mushrooms is when I had to leave my favorite job.
Oh yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
almond.
Yeah.
Pecans, we think, but we don't know.
Oh, pecans.
I'm just
that's
avoiding
right.
tree nuts except for peanuts, and only because I'd had peanuts a couple days before that and I was fine, so I know it's still cool.
They're also not
Because
green
peanuts
nuts.
are not tree nuts.
Well, that's the thing. There was a bunch of different kinds of nuts on that line, so we don't know what it was. We're assuming pecans, because that was the main one, but technically could have been anything.
Yeah, I love nuts, yo. I can't
I'm not
imagine.
allergic
Yeah,
to the nuts
I would,
that matter,
I would
so
hate to be allergic to nuts.
Not allergic to these nuts.
let's do gross mouth noises.
Oh, I love that. I love that for you.
These nuts got him.
Go.
Got him.
One more for good luck, huh?
We have someone down the road who has like signs out front, and it says like "God will take back America" or whatever, and you
I will
don't know
be
how
right back.
you don't know how tempted I am every time I drive past to just put these nuts on a piece of paper and just
Yo,
say "God will take back."
Weirdest thing I found today. Someone posted a recipe up on Tasty, this app that sometimes has recipes and shit. And I guess the editor hadn't checked the comments yet. Someone was just posting like comments on this fucking pizza bagel recipe that were just Bible scripture quotes, like directly from the Bible, for no fucking reason.
What?
it's like where you post suggestions for the recipe. They're just like posting fucking quotes from Romans and shit. I'm like, what? This is a pizza bagel recipe, sir.
Man, I want pizza bagels now, though.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
This is a Wendy's.
Have you considered though that pizza bagels go against God's plan?
I mean, I guess this other person might have.
What to say to that?
You don't have to say
I'm an atheist, so
wait, Sean, you're like vehemently against pizza bagels?
Someone was, yo.
Oh, I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying maybe it is. Maybe this person.
Sometimes I just think about
knows something that we don't know about.
Sometimes I just think about that video of the super religious lady going off about Monster energy drinks being connected to Satan.
I love that.
Wait,
for her.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's the thing.
I love that for her.
You don't know that one? Oh,
I don't know that one.
You know that
Oh, you gotta show me that. You gotta show me that.
Wild.
Here's
it's
the thing.
The number of the beast, and oh my god.
Here's the thing though, Teri.
Yeah, where's the thing?
Everyone needs a hobby, okay?
Yeah, fair.
Mine is making fun of that woman.
And hers is being the way she is.
That's unfortunate, but fortunate for me because it fuels my hobby.
See, I think being the way that one is doesn't count as a hobby.
I mean,
unless you're doing it very on purpose. Like, if you're doing it very purposely, then sure.
Kaz, how many times have we changed the title of the stream already?
Oh, what's the stream title right now?
No, I mean, have we? Because if we haven't,
have we?
It should have already happened by now.
No, it looks like it's
Anyways,
the same.
let's get back to this.
Yeah.
Let's do it!
Oh yeah, so Byakuya just did not want to talk to us.
Previously on.
Let's see what Hina says.
Oh, okay.
We gotta wait till we're live.
Byakuya didn't want to talk to us, and we discovered an protein drink.
See
Are we
the
live yet?
Sudoku that Soccer was doing?
So does that mean that it's the theory that it was someone who was waiting in the room until we opened it? Anyway.
Feels unlikely, right?
But if
Guys,
a cup
are
was
we
put down.
back?
Anyway. Yeah.
'Cause I don't think we're back.
I see it on stream.
Oh, really?
We're
Because
back.
my stream's still showing the art.
No, I see it.
Oh, we're back, baby.
Weird.
We're back, baby.
Why is
Do a
mine
big old
wrong?
refresho.
Okay. Then, my bad.
Try believing in your dreams.
Have you tried
I have not,
Alta
actually.
4?
Don't try that.
Please
Have
don't
you
try
tried
it.
turning the Twitch off and on again?
I've also not tried that,
I
but I
don't know
kind of
why
don't
I
want
thought-
to.
I thought you were gonna say Twitter, and I was like, that's not right.
Alright. This looks like some kind of wrapper.
Oh, that's.
Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well, yeah. I mean, I gave it to her.
Gave her the wrapper?
That's a candy wrapper. Sora got super upset when she found out that Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So, after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little.
Yeah, give us that velvet, Miles.
So, you gave that candy to Sakura?
I found a big box in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get to the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room.
Oh.
It's a little random, but do you guys remember that scene in Willy Wonka where he was just like Like, he was just, like, spitting rhymes in a song, right? Did that make him a candy rapper?
Hey, I appreciated that. I appreciated it.
You can type that in the chat.
Can we move on, please? I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them.
You really like him that much?
Well, I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've all lost their flavor.
Simple and clean is the way that you make me feel.
God damn it!
Hina?
Nice! Polka dot candy wrapper has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
That's polka dot, not gingham.
I mean, let me look at it again, and I can tell you.
But it looks polka dot there. That's not the pattern that it is on the thing.
Actually, it's hard to tell if it's because it's warped. It's hard to tell if they're perfectly spaced, and if the dots aren't perfectly spaced, it's not polka dots.
If it's not perfectly spaced, it's not polka dots.
Yep, polka dots have to be equally spaced and the same size as each other.
Are you some kind of fashion historian?
No, definitely not. It's not like I've put any of my life into this whatsoever.
Not even once.
Chaos.
Teri just knows, not Teri. Who just knows things?
I'm glad you just assume I also know things.
I mean, for those who aren't in on the joke, I do study fashion and clothing.
I know.
Hot. Anyway, we already know who did it. Byakuya, Coco, or Hero. It had to be one of them.
I'm so glad I've poisoned you with Byakuya.
It feels good.
It's more of a blur thing than anything else.
They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto?
Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more.
Oh. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room.
What?
After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she left off on her own. When I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon.
Yes.
Oh. Hina knows too much.
Hina's gonna blow the case wide open.
It feels the first time someone's been this involved in a case, except for the main character here, and I feel like it's very suspicious. I mean, the killer's known to go back to the scene of the crime, am I right? They won't be involved in the case.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone came back.
And
but, like,
This is the first case we've seen everybody.
Yeah,
not a lot of people though. So I don't know. It just feels weird. Anyway,
I guess we'll find out by noon. The Kumanina file said she died right around then.
I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her by force even, this never would have happened. No!
Hina. That sounded weird. I feel like I said it badly. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know.
What? Awie's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
But, like, the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she'd asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
Drawn. God damn
I don't know what
Oh.
you're talking about.
I don't know this sexy trash bin. Someone must introduce me.
Uh-oh.
That can be
Oh,
arranged.
she's a
And it
tall drink
begins.
of water for sure.
Okay, we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
How'd you get that whiskey up your nose?
You weren't supposed to say anything. It hurt so bad. I was looking at the screen while I tried to take a drink, and I tilted my head whole back. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Bad.
God damn it.
Fine,
Well,
my
it's
sinuses
not-
are so
it's not like-
clear.
it's not like you snorted it up through the back, you poured it straight in.
I just poured it straight in.
Right up in there.
Ouch.
Right up in there.
And
And my
then
sinuses are so clear right now.
I would imagine
You
so.
know?
They're probably also on fire.
Ooh, well, there was honey in it. Okay, I continue. I'm fine. I just don't want you to hear my groans of pain for a minute.
I'm sure the listeners appreciate it.
Gotta pay extra for my groans, baby.
Hey. There's
So-
a bloodstain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died?
Magazine shelf bloods. Blah blah. You know.
Yeah, from the top. Take her from the top.
Blah, blah.
the clue has been added to.
That flew.
Magazine shelf bloodstain has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Look at you go. What the fuck are those?
So my current theory is that the rug in front of the dartboard machine is very suspicious, and I don't think it's a rug. I think it's actually a track that the dartboard machine moves on, and there's a hidden exit behind the dartboard.
That's a very specific hunch.
I know, I have weirdly specific hunches sometimes.
Fair, hard same.
There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all, like, red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right?
Hey, good job, Makoto.
Good.
So, this must have originally been a bottle.
Look
You
at this
did it.
man.
He put
Growing up
two
before
and
our
two
very
together.
eyes.
How many
It's
murders did
beautiful
it take for him to be
information.
able to figure out that it was a bottle?
We used information and came to a conclusion.
I'm so proud.
Nice! Glass shards on the floor has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
No broken bottle looks like that.
Huh?
I don't know why that's bugging me. It just is.
You would know that, Teri.
The next line.
Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand.
It's a Christmas tree ornament.
It's a Monokuma figure.
What?
Nice.
Kumamano figure.
Kumamano.
I don't remember how we're saying it.
Cumanimo.
Thank you.
Minimum.
Thank you.
Cumanimo.
Cumanimo.
Or honestly, however it comes out of your mouth, to be honest.
I like how
pronounced.
it's different every time from Moon. So I'm kind
Yeah.
of
It's pronounced Humanimo.
Cumanimo.
Sounds
Igor.
exciting when you say it like that.
Ooh.
Humanimo.
Cumanimo.
Sorry.
Part of the stream
Maybe
where
I
we
should
all
be on
just say Humanimo over and over.
Humanimo.
Figure on the floor has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Can I click on Sakura herself?
Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair.
What is
Posture
this
was
JPEG?
just awful.
There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure.
Mark, welcome in.
Hello, Mark. Welcome.
Zoomy.
Yes, confirm all.
Sumi.
So, what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Kumanimo file specifically said she hadn't suffered from any other injuries.
Nice. Status of Sakura's body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Here you go.
Look at you go.
Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood?
Not a chance.
Come on.
Oh, I'm doing a different voice this time. Out of here. Different voice. You can't prove otherwise.
Oh god.
Byakuya!
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location.
What?
Interesting?
That's a really weird thing.
The next time a guy's staring at my boobs,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna say.
I've landed on the most interesting
Oh, yes.
location.
Yes! Oh, brilliant.
I'm just gonna say that anytime I see someone kind of looking at me lingering. Your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. While I'm like rapidly raising my eyebrows up and down.
It's like a wiggle.
Yes. It's the best way to interact with other people.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree?
No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder.
What are we looking at? What is the interesting location?
I don't know.
My mom!
Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect timing. It couldn't have been better. Thank you.
That's why this game has taken us months already.
I'm gonna go cry again.
Okay.
The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died.
That's not true.
But it is plausible. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Kumamano figure.
I love how much that causes you psychic damage.
I legit forget every time, and it makes me pause. What I am wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
Imagining him in a room with a dead body, like, how'd they get that in there?
It's very in character for him.
It's no different from your standard
Chip in a bottle.
Huh?
You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? You uncultured swine!
Yeah, I mean, maybe I have.
In other words,
So this is the Mamanano version of that!
Manananu bottle.
If you will.
Nice!
Your
Your bottle has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your manual.
Sorry, or what?
Sorry, again.
It's your flippin' nipper truth bullet.
My what?
It's your flippin' nipper truth bullet.
It's in your from a nipper when you go.
Wait, I was gonna. No. I was trying to remember the tune. How did you do that?
Damn it.
You, but more powerful.
I don't understand how this keeps happening to us tonight.
It's beautiful.
When I'm drunk and Sin's high, we're on the same wavelength. Not that I'm drunk.
I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little.
Oh no, this is the last time Makoto will ever understand anything ever.
Yep. It's called foreshadowing.
Strap in, fellas. It's all downhill from here.
True tragedy of Danganronpa is that Makoto walks into all of these rooms knowing exactly how the murder happens, and then people start talking to him and showing him evidence, and he forgets it.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's
Also,
his
how
curse.
does nobody ever suspect Makoto?
Not
is that not
like
a thing?
I think
They did
the first murder, yes, but I don't think since then.
And they're like, this guy's too fucking dumb. There's no way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Daimler, if you're free and available, jump in now.
Daimler. You need to voice
I'll
Saika.
unmute you.
Can't promise I'll unmute you.
The Monakama bottles sitting on the shelf are not equally spaced, and so there's not an obvious place where the fifth one could go. The Monakama figure we found on the ground, the red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle.
Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You're almost there. Bring it home, Makuder.
You see the smoke?
Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Mononamo bottle, right?
His nose is just bleeding a little.
He starts vomiting blood. Just.
That's what happened. Sakura figured out the case, and she vomited blood. The shards of glass and the Kumamano figure are evidence of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon.
Oh, I'm so glad we could get there together.
Yep.
Yay!
Magooter.
You know, Moon, the more you get used to the Manukonomo turn of phrase, just truly reminds me that humans can adapt to anything.
That same shelf full of magazines. Also, hi, Daimler.
I don't.
Hello?
Hi, Moo.
Oh, wait.
Let me see here. I'm just looking at the list of characters.
Wait.
I
Oh no,
don't
they
think
muted
it's-
themselves. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
is
he's
Dime
muted.
here?
I thought that
No,
I had him
Dime-
muted.
No, Dime's muted. Sean, can you do me a favor and bring the list back down and update if needed?
I'll never do you a favor.
Can you do me
Do
a
it for
favor?
me. Oh,
Who you want? Hero? Coco and Jill?
Ooh.
I don't know what's going on.
Giving you voices.
Yeah, giving you voices. Noob.
I'm already
you
Sayaka.
plebeian?
Well, let's see here.
You can take my voice. I'm just here for commentary.
Do I only have one voice?
You have two.
No, I have
Oh,
two.
you
I
have
can't
two.
read.
Harry.
I
Yeah,
can't
you have.
read.
Wait,
Yeah.
you didn't hear me. I'm here for commentary.
Oh,
Did you get it?
wow.
No, wait,
I guess it's
I don't think you got it. I don't think you got it. I'm here for.
Wait,
I'm
Teri,
here.
you need to make
Can you
a
explain it?
segment on your stream called Commentary with Teri.
Oh, I do. I do need to do that.
Oh,
I do need to do
Yes.
that. Now that you said that.
Please.
Yes.
If I
I'll
ever
be on the show with you. Invite me
ever
onto
host-
the program.
I will. If I ever host a Frungus stream, that's what it's gonna be.
Hell yeah.
It's not if, it's when.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Assuming I remember, that's where the if comes in.
So, Dime, do you want to reprise Kyoko again, or would you like Coco and Jill?
You can pick.
Oh
I'm
my
very
God.
indecisive.
These
It's a character flaw.
These people.
We can't be perfect.
Okay, well, you get Toko.
Ooh.
All right.
Jill. And it has been decided.
Another, or are you good?
I'm good. I haven't heard enough Sean, so 2 Seans better than.
When
Better than 2
Sayaka comes
cents.
back, you'll be good to go.
Wait,
I'll
then I
just
need you
do
to read the
alter
chat.
ego if alter ego comes back.
A diss in Teri podcast where we just diss each other for 2 hours. God damn it.
I think that is brilliant. Just gonna say that. It's brilliant.
How
Thank you.
fucking dare you?
or you could say where we shit on each other. But
That's
we don't.
that's disgusting.
I love this.
Because I need it.
You gotta say it in the dry SpongeBob voice.
I need it.
There it is. There it is.
Yes, it's come full circle.
Okay. There's all different kinds of magazines here.
Okay, cool. Anyway,
Any about vomiting blood?
The fact
thought
that they
you would
won't let
want-
us look at the dartboard makes me feel like my very specific hunch earlier was probably wrong.
No, you're probably right.
No, I think
wasn't
you're right
here.
on the money. There's gonna be a second murder in this room. and
Why
it's
else
all
would you
gonna
have a
come
rug?
together.
Why would you have a rug in front of a dartboard?
I mean, it could be marking where you
Yeah,
stand.
it's supposed to be where you
that?
stand.
It just
Wait
tells
a
you where to
Don't wanna
stand.
journey with
I don't know.
Okay,
about
that is a
though.
very random cabinet. Why is
Hello,
there a
are we
locker?
talking about the
locker. Look at that
handprints on it?
locker. Yeah, what's up with the
Dartboard connects to the
Wait,
large
was I
locker
right
by
and
the
someone was
pool.
waiting in here?
Sean.
My called shot.
I missed it. I need you to say what your called shot is, please.
The dartboard connects to the locker in the pool.
Oh, it's a large locker by the pool.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, I get it.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
The locker's open, and there on the inside, it's a handprint.
Why?
What's a handprint doing here?
Aren't you the ultimate
Better
detective?
question, why is it inside
I
covered
don't
in
think
cocaine?
we know that yet. I don't think we know that.
There's
yet,
also like
Daimler.
at least 4 handprints,
No, she
not
said
just
it.
one.
And like, who was just like in there spinning around?
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she said it in the last chapter.
Anyway, it looks like so that.
I guess I missed that. Been in and out.
Sorry, my niece had a boo-boo on her hand I had to kiss.
Well, that's extremely important.
It's incredibly important.
Yes.
More important than this. That's fair.
It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. Cocaine!
Cocaine.
Or if Lep is right, it's something else.
You guys want to know a weird fact about me? I've never seen a full-size locker in real life.
You know, I'm not sure that I have either, because my college workshop only had small lockers.
Yeah, same. And I never went to public school. Anyway.
Same.
A large locker by the pool must really creep you out, huh?
It just gets me all hot and bothered. Next.
Okay.
Next question, please.
So then, maybe the Kyler hid in there until the locked room was opened, don't you think?
The Kyler.
And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
How do you
Don't
not
think
notice
there
that?
was that much confusion, though. I mean, there was confusion among us, the voice actors, for sure.
I don't remember anything we've done.
We infected the game.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility.
Huh? Why not?
Hey,
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right?
Oh, good. I get to do a flashback voice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the locker was already open. At that point.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, sadly, I don't think you do.
Moon, were you here when we established this rule? This
I was
homebrew
not,
rule?
but I love it.
So whenever a flashback happens, the person who's describing or talking about the flashback does an imitation of the other person's voice in their character's voice.
I love it, and I wish we'd been doing that from the beginning.
I know, right?
I'm not sure I understand.
So
You'll
I'm
get
about
it.
to do. Let me show you.
You'll get it, yeah.
Please, please.
Okay, so, Mikoto. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
And
but
the
this is... Hang on, I'm sorry. Because the
This is a flashback.
conceit is that they're talking in real life, which is actually happening here. This is not flashback
shit.
voice.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Ah,
I
poop
did
on us.
Yeah,
appreciate
this
when
sadly
you guys
isn't a
SpongeBob, though.
flashback.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah, you'll have a chance.
So
You'll get
it's
to
not
do it.
only
You
us.
right. You right. I misunderstood because it wasn't in sepia.
So it isn't just us actors imitating the other character's voice. So we have to do our character imitating the other character?
Exactly.
That feels like a little too much math for me, but I'll try it if I have to.
That's the whole point, Moon.
Beautiful.
It yields some really hilarious results. I gotta tell you. It's honestly worth the math.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door.
Yeah, so then... What does this handprint mean?
Nice! Locker handprint has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Owning your craft, Moon.
You know what? I should look at it that way. Thank you, Egg.
Oh, what's all that then?
What's all this then? The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. Also, that chair doesn't look tall enough to do that.
That's really
the
gonna
chair's
bother
way
me.
too short.
It has to be long because
And
you have to do it in an angle.
Yeah, and it's too far away from the door. He wouldn't have been able to push it that far. Like,
Yeah, but look at this chair's shadow. This is clearly a non-Euclidean chair.
You're right. It's just funny.
You're right.
It has to be at least over the size of the doorknob because you have to be able to hold it at like a 45-degree angle underneath the. I'm really bothered right now, actually.
it's bothing me too.
I don't know why I'm so bothered by this.
We'll be bothered together,
They could
Teri.
have just drawn a bigger chair.
Exactly. There is no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it.
Chair did it.
Yeah, chair, you're not special.
However,
I didn't mean to click her. I actually was trying to look at the camera.
Look for coins.
Well, too bad. You'll have to advance the plot.
But for Sakura to have been killed,
Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
and she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the
Ultimate martial artist.
strong in body, mind, and spirit.
And body.
So how was the Kyler able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand?
They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. That's what I just said. They would have needed to. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
Now I can look at the camera.
Yes. Or can you?
Dang it!
You
Did
can't!
take away my camera privileges, you piece of shit-ass game.
Is
So mad.
Well, that's it, you guys. I'm sorry.
All right,
This is
well,
as
it's a
far
good
as we're
stream.
getting.
It was a good
Out
stream.
of the first room.
I mean, I'm just
Save
I'm
again.
infuriated.
Save one more time. One more.
Yep.
No, I'm not gonna do that now.
I mean, we're not gonna play again. They're not gonna let us look at the cameras. Why are we gonna play this game again?
What the fuck are we doing? Wasting our goddamn.
Oh, we can look at the clock.
Jesus.
Oh,
Clock on the wall.
Guacamole.
It's around 1 o'clock right now.
It's not anything.
it's shine o'clock.
It really is.
Just saying
According
random shit at this
to the
point.
Komodomo file, Sakura died around 12 noon. So, like, roughly a whole hour ago.
Makers of the game couldn't remember how a clock works, so they just
Put a big shine over
Yep.
it.
They're like, I don't remember which hand is which.
let's just make it bright.
Now it may not be clear, but that where the 12 is supposed to be is actually just another number 2. That's why they put that. 'Cause they're like, I think it's like this, but
Hey, so when you're
Just
ready to eat an
definitely-
avocado, does that mean it's clockamole? Guess it's time.
Teri, I wish you could see me glaring at you right
I'm so upset.
My eyes are so narrowed.
This time I'm laughing because I don't know how else to respond.
Guys, can you just add an at for Teri at the end of that?
Just an exclamation point. No, the command is
just
exclamation point, Teri.
Yeah, you might as well. That or
You should just include it in shoutouts for Teri.
Time to eat some chips. It's guacamole.
Did you read this line? Can I go forward?
I have not yet.
Can you read this line?
I shall. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego?
Wasn't in my contract.
Oh god, I'm not appreciated in my time.
No.
Get it time?
No, in no
Because
time.
it's guacamole.
God damn it. Teri, go outside. Go the fuck outside.
Under the desk with you, Teri.
Okay.
To the
You're
to
making
the
me ugly
desk.
laugh.
We're in timeout.
This door is the only way in or out of the rec room.
Didn't even check that dartboard. You don't know that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window.
Wonder
Oh my
who
god.
could have done that.
I'm the Kyler.
I did it.
I did
It
it.
was me.
That was me the whole
boys.
time.
It was always
Me,
me.
boys.
Hey guys. Do you think
Hi.
when it's time for one of these characters to shoot the other, it's
No. Stop
No,
it.
I
Just
don't.
keep
I don't
going,
think
Sid.
it is.
Go,
No,
go, get
I
out of
don't
this
think
room.
it is.
Keep going.
I don't actually think it is.
Keep going and never look back.
Which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words...
What if I had a nickel every time he said that?
Exactly. Oh, look at chat, everyone. Look at chat.
amazing.
Good.
Hey, I want to make a gun that shoots avocados and call it guacamole.
Glocka clock, baby. Thank you for that gift.
Thank you, love. I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself.
Not even crying from laughing, I'm just crying.
Oh,
I'm just crying furiously.
In general.
Red-faced crying, tears of
Angry
rage.
crying.
A wizard with a handgun. It says Alec Lamb.
stop encouraging her. Come on, Alpha Geek.
You're an enabler, Alpha Geek.
We're never gonna get anywhere.
Just bulldoze forward.
Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So, the Kyler must have created the locked room the locked door from the inside, not from the outside.
I composed myself.
I was literally just about to ask if you were okay.
I was dying. I hate interrupting those. I just muted myself.
I was like, I'm gonna read this line and then ask Teri if she's okay.
So I have to make someone laugh, and it may as well be me.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Rec room door has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Look at you go.
Look at you go. Alright. Is there anything else here?
Yeah, look at the clock.
No.
Do not look at the clock.
I'm not going to.
Is it not time?
Walk to California and kill you. Look at the clock.
I don't live in California, idiot.
Not you. I'm already on the way there, Teri.
No, Sean is saying that if I click on the clock.
I'm just saying I'll add Sin to the list.
I will walk to California so you can kill me. I know it's what I deserve.
Alright. Did we talk to Shoko to leave? What's going on here?
I don't know. Maybe Aoi
Talk
again?
to Hina.
Certain.
Did you talk to Hina, or did she just talk to us when we looked at the body?
We already know, dear.
Sorry.
Yeah, we already read
that.
this. Yeah, we did.
This.
Quite a long
Oh, we need to confirm
talk
with
to-
the other three. So we need to
Yeah,
go
you
talk
need-
to the others.
You need to talk to me again. Need to talk to me. Can't leave without talking to me. What do you want? You're bothering me.
There's something I'd like to ask you about.
Make it quick.
Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room?
So you found out. Interesting.
Then it's true?
I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what a fool do I... What...
But... Oh, sorry. It took me like a full minute to figure out what this sentence was saying. I am so
It's all
sorry.
good.
But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird sentence. That first part there.
So you didn't go see her?
Of course not. I ripped the notes to shreds and threw it away. I
Haven't seen Sakura today at all.
Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight.
Okay, thanks.
Nice! Byakuya's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation?
Yeah, I think so. For the most part.
So then.
Then you should probably go talk with people now. Not like these other two.
Tough but fair.
I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Gosh, that's offensive.
You know what you did, goof.
I'll fucking do it again.
I'll fucking do it again.
We'll hook you up.
Don't you test me. I'm looking ready.
I'm ready to throw down whenever you are.
Oh, good.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place.
Those flow together too well. She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say.
So,
Let's get out of this room.
So I have this really expensive dip that I actually keep in a safe when I'm not eating it. I call it my guacamole.
Damn it!
You know, I had a hunch you were gonna say something along those lines.
Still couldn't stop me.
Yeah.
It was like the first half of that sentence. I thought for sure you were going to say something serious. Then, like an approaching train, I saw it coming. I did nothing to stop it.
Daimler, damn it!
Stop a Molly.
Oh my god, why?
Oh, thank you, guys. I wish these puns would stop.
Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms.
I was sitting on that the whole time.
I believe that.
I'm just gonna guacamole away and let you guys do the stream.
Dead. Me. Not dead.
Just go back to your room.
Dead.
Joke's on you, I'm already in my
Dead.
room. Where my computer is.
I pressed the doorbell. I never noticed that these doors had doorbells.
Ding dong.
Oh. I have the thing that makes me react to ASMR, so all of y'all's sultry voices do make me tingle. Like my skin gives me goosebumps.
You're welcome.
Sorry?
No, it's fun. I just thought maybe I should tell you why I reacted like that.
And I'm sorry.
Honestly?
But that's why I went, ooh. Because it gave me goosebumps in a good way. And after a few seconds...
I'm passed.
I passed.
And I was
Teri.
as desperate as I felt. Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt.
You bitch.
An aura of total decay.
You're saying all this out loud. What do you want? What do you want?
So you're back to normal.
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore?
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. It wasn't such a good moment, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
What?
How I look when I'm in a good mood.
That's why was. That's what was means.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Okay.
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
Wait, what was she gonna say with the KH in the beginning?
Wait, pause, everyone pause, stop.
What?
What's up?
We have a round of hyonks to do, I believe.
Oh, not
So we
again.
do.
Oh my god, Goose is here!
Jesus.
Oh, we have a second
auditioned and it was
chance.
bad.
Alright, everyone.
Are we ready?
Oh,
okay.
no.
It's
Taking
gonna
a
go
deep
down.
breath.
Terry, you obviously are ready.
Taking a deep breath.
I'm right here. I'm
Yeah,
right
everyone get your
here.
lungs ready.
I'm
It's gonna
right
be
here.
3, 2, 1, hyonk. Okay, 3,
Okay,
2.
I'll hit the altos.
1.
I can't make it through the yonk.
Hey!
Oh no!
It wasn't me that died that time.
It's always me.
That was beautiful, you guys.
It was good!
We
It
did
was
good.
really nice.
What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something.
Lee action!
I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yay!
Byakuya already told me she had asked him to meet with. She had asked to meet with him.
What? She wanted to meet with Master too. I just said two, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh?
It's pretty obvious before, but go off, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it?
I admit, I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so couldn't bring myself to go.
Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Watch me say this a third time when I talk to Hiro.
Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room.
With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room.
You're still talking out loud. I can hear you.
Nobody say all of that out loud, right?
Makoto does not understand the concept of thinking.
Toko's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. I just want to say that, Dime, I appreciate your patience with us getting to a section where you're voicing your one of your two voices, one of which is fake or dead.
Oh, it's fine. I figured, looking at the cast list, that I could play a round or two of League of Legends while I.
Okay. I have said I've had 2 lines, but I think I've said the most.
But I think I've said the most.
Much even.
Maybe she's right.
Maybe she's right.
Maybe she's Maybelline.
But I also want to just say that I really appreciate your choice of voice for Toko.
Couldn't decide if it was
good.
closer to Porky Pig or Piglet.
Yeah,
I was thinking Porky Pig.
I was thinking Porky. I was thinking that's all, folks.
I thought it was very poo.
Did you know to do that Porky Pig stuttering, there's an actual thing you have to say? It's like ba. Like you have to
I think it's a beebity-bee.
That's all, folks.
Standard goose greeting, very good. Thank you for that clip, Lap.
Yes.
We can all just make a really quick chat command that brings that up whenever Goose comes in now.
We don't need to ever do it again. But we will.
Oh, we will.
I will.
We'll innovate and iterate every time.
I do love that it started not because their name is Goose, but because Slam used to have a thing where you could redeem points to hear the sounds of Seattle, and instead of doing that, they just did the hyonk. And it turned into Goose's thing, and I just love that. I just love that chain of events.
I think that
I'm here
was
for.
my fault. I think I did that one too.
It's quite likely.
It's
Look,
just
it's quite likely.
Because I
Done a
did
lot for
that.
this community, Sean.
I made Slim's Hyonk emote.
You're a pillar of this community.
I've also done
Yeah.
a lot, but none of it good.
I mean, I
no
would
one's gonna
argue
thank me
against
for
that.
You did that guacamole thing.
No one's gonna thank her
Thing.
for that then.
Yeah, no one's gonna thank me for that. I understand that. I thank me for that.
I pressed the doorbell.
Dong.
Dong.
Oh no.
All I heard was Sean say dong.
No. Dong.
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 Dong da dong dong dong.
Da dong da dong dong
Dong dong dong dong dong. Wah.
All right, y'all.
And
What's that,
after a
Miles?
few seconds.
Oh, I was just saying, I gotta head off and start getting ready for bed, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
Okay.
Miles.
So,
Love you, buddy.
Daimler, you could get Hina too if you want.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, everyone have a good night and fucking
Good night,
stay
Miles.
crazy.
Miles, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for being here.
I love you.
I love,
Love you, and I'm
too.
sorry I said guacamole so many times.
You should be sorry.
I'm not. I lied.
You should be sorry.
Good night.
Gosh, that was a bad pun. Anyway, good night. I love you.
9-9.
Love you, bye.
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something?
I wasn't here.
Leave on.
Very good.
Yes, it is a very good choice.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
Damn. Sakura wanted to meet with everyone.
How did you know about that? Whoa, did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you?
Please give me the option to say yes.
But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with.
Ogre told me herself.
That she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too.
What? When did Sakura tell you that?
Right before I killed her. Oh.
Well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course.
You know, Dim, I think you might be right. But
He's just stupid enough.
didn't she write you a note?
Yeah, no, she, she gave it to me in person! And she happened to mention the others, like, in passing.
So suspicious.
I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious.
Being exactly Makoto.
Sorry.
You stay brain with the game this time.
I'm same game.
So then you went and met with Sakura?
No.
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, it's definitely suspicious.
Actually,
Last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her.
Since then!
While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you?
Of course I can't.
Do I still have it? Let's see.
I love how you've somehow managed to make it sound like you're from the Ed, and Eddie show and you have one of those giant jawbreakers.
I was just thinking the gigantic jawbreakers, like the monster ones, whatever they were called.
Oh, I thought.
It's my tongue down behind my bottom front teeth.
Oh, yeah?
Ah,
Your tongue isn't
I
always
see.
behind your teeth.
Terry asking the real questions out here.
Yes, the
Because I wanted to hear that, and then I was like,
want to tell us
wait.
about your tongue?
Are you?
I'm usually
are
like
you
a dog, you know?
Sean? You've heard of Genocide Jill.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's very good.
Hero was feeling around in his pockets.
Oh, sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore.
Definitely not suspicious.
With a big, goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets.
Oh, you're thinking of Hina. This is Hero.
But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hero's pocket.
Oh, you dumbass.
Huh?
God bless America. You want to break my diet?
Okay.
A secret shame!
Quick as the wind, Hero snatched it back up again.
Oh my fucking god, this moron.
Quick as a wind that took a few moments to scream first.
Oh!
Imagine dropping a candy wrapper from your pocket, throwing your head back with your hands on your head, just.
You hear in the background in a queer harmony with Hero, Kyoko just sighing.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what we're all gonna sound like when we're 90
Genocide
years
Jill
old.
comes out of her room. Ah!
And shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Absolute buffoon.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out.
That's all.
Trash? What's that?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked me to meet me, but I never went.
Drop trash? I didn't know I was in his pocket.
Sean, why do you sound wetter?
Good
I don't know
question.
why.
It's the drool.
So well, if you'll excuse me.
Oh god, it's getting better.
It's getting wetter!
I think Sean's drowning.
Sean,
Someone get them out of the tub.
Before
He
waiting.
slipped back into his room.
Oh, he used
Slipped, not slurped.
he used the one portal guy from the Adventurous Heart.
Cast teleport.
Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but it didn't look anything like Trash Chan. There's no way that's all there was to it.
Nice!
I know what trash looks like. I've looked in a mirror.
Oh!
Now I know you're lying. You've obviously never seen a mirror in your goddamn life.
No, there was someone standing behind me. Anyway, line.
Line. Trash has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Look at you go.
Look at you go. Oh shit, fuck. I'm sorry.
You're skipping my lines? Okay, Okay, so I've heard from Togo and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So, where should I start?
Can you imagine it being a hero just like back against the door, and then you just hear Makoto go, "So, where should I start?"
You're standing there for like a couple of really silent seconds.
Alright, now what?
Really pregnant pause.
Like a full 2 minutes after you.
Not sure if they had already walked away or not.
Alright, where should I start? I guess we should start at the chem lab then, eh, boys? And
I want y'all to know that we're 3/4 of the way through this stream, and we've like made it through 2 scenes.
Fathers, daughters. Hello?
Oh, where are you looking for?
The chem lab.
Okay, so if you actually go back to the floor you were on before, then when you take a left, there's gonna be 2 doors.
Stop listening to Teri.
You just like close your eyes.
You're lucky you got that far.
You close your eyes, you whisper directionally to yourself, spin around, and then wherever you're pointing when you open your eyes, you don't go down that way. You actually go down to the door, and you're right from there. And then when you cut down the hallway.
Third floor, I think.
Where's the chem lab?
I just told you. Okay, so on the second floor.
Top floor.
I was right, it's the second floor. Oh no, there's more floors than that.
Says top floor.
I thought there was only 2 floors.
Oh, look who's in
that
the
one with
chem
an
lab.
exclamation point in it.
Okay, so now you cut a right, and then if you just go down the hall, and then it's...
Also, quick reminder to any of our darling listeners that might be wearing a binder, check in with your body and see if you need to take it off, like I just did.
Fair.
Nice remind.
Nice, dude. For culture.
I was just doing a little peekaboo with you there for a second.
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way.
Yeah, I got it. I know my eye lands in interesting places.
I think you meant to say was, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand.
Why is everyone having such a fucking power trip right now?
Because the most powerful one is dead.
That's the last.
They're all trying to assert dominance.
Yeah, probably. What's on the floor? It's not even highlighted. Doesn't look like we can look at it.
Pissed all over the
And you
floor.
look at the camera.
This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is.
This isn't my first time seeing a shelf.
But it is the second time.
This isn't my first time seeing a shelf.
There's been a shelf before.
Hold on, let me turn around. Oh, that's definitely not my first time seeing a shelf. I can tell you that right now.
I should probably take a closer look at it.
Even though it's not my first time, I should look just...
I've seen a shelf before. I don't know why everyone
really
keeps saying I haven't.
You guys stop saying I don't know what a shelf is. You guys are so funny.
I know what a shelf is!
Stop, I've seen a shelf.
Gosh!
Oh my god.
If you can put drinks on your booty, does it make it a shelf? I'm just wondering, actually.
I mean,
Like,
I think it depends.
I keep stuff on my my bazonkers. Does that make them
I mean,
shelf?
yeah, those do count as shelves.
Like,
I
what
think.
qualifies shelf?
He's still talking about how big the shelf is.
It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf.
Cabinet. That's a cabinet. I don't think he knows what a shelf is. It's a cabinet.
He's been in the library. There's so much shelf in that room.
But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf?
Cocaine.
I have to be careful not to step in it. Since when is piss
how
powder?
powdery is your piss?
Do you need to see a doctor?
Are you okay?
I'm good.
I don't like that you had to pause and think about it. Like,
I'm pretty
No,
sure
I'm
I'm
good.
extremely hydrated.
you piss and it goes.
There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. Like all those footprints right there.
Footprint, you say?
These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf.
The cabinet.
How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan.
Why?
By we, do you mean me?
What kind of you to offer?
With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
Don't worry, I know this school like the back of my hand.
Well, let's go. Chop, chop, chop. Chop.
Okay.
It is a school, right?
Yes.
I do.
Oh, sure.
So I got to work, and before long, I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. Makoto,
with his fingers.
Makoto, I'm surprised at how good the footprints look based on how bad everything else looks.
Look at the bottle.
The bottle's facing the wrong way.
Why did we need the sketch? I don't understand.
So how's this?
Not bad for you, I mean.
For me?
Oh, when you look at this. Interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints had only had business at the... Sorry, excuse me. Only had business at the leftmost shelf.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left.
I don't understand what the sketch is for.
Byakuya just wanted some of Makoto's art.
That's what the
Clearly.
footprints tell me. And I could only have told you that by looking at a sketch of the room.
I love that if you look at
I'm a smart person.
If you look at like the word bottle, you can tell that whoever did that, like in digital, like in Photoshop or whatever, just used a slightly opaque brush to make it try and look like a marker.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just really.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Keep making bad art, Makoto. Making good
You know
art.
what? Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough. I have nothing to say.
It's not the first time those words have been used against me.
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours?
No!
Okay. Let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
Byakuya has a crush on us. Byakuya totally has a crush on us.
To see your shoes. There's no other reason.
I'm just curious about the size, that's all.
I mean, he wanted our art. He wants to know our foot size. He clearly is into us. He's so into us.
God,
my
you
God.
guys!
Oh my
We
God.
figured it out.
Oh my God.
You guys!
Yes.
Yep.
Are you saying we're wrong? Because
Are you trying to beat a game right now?
I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said.
By the way, Makoto, do you have plans for dinner? Also, I see your feet do appear to be too big.
It's alright, we'll break you in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I must admit that these are not your footprints.
You ever say something and then regret it?
Absolutely.
Your awareness.
No, never.
Unfortunately.
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to.
Indubitably.
Then these prints are a really valuable clue.
How do I put footprint in a trash can?
Trash can will find a way to put the footprint in there. She's just that good.
Trash can?
Trash can.
Finds a way.
Just roll a trash can over it.
I
and
see
she'll
what
pick
you
up an
did there.
imprint.
I see what you did there, Sean. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4.
Would you like to hear something interesting?
Not if it's about my feet.
I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, thinking about your feet, and at that point, this room wasn't like this.
Have you heard of feetpics.com?
Wait, forget that second thing I said.
Do you have an account on feetpics.com?
You said that so naturally within the cadence of that sentence that I actually did a double take on the fucking text.
I was drinking soda at that moment and had to try very hard not to die.
So I'm gonna release a mod pack of this game.
Please do.
You're just jealous of my commitment.
Then this powder must have been spilled.
So, in other words,
That's right, it could only have been around
Time of the incident.
You guys, you're gonna kill me.
That's not the point of the game. Oh, wait.
Ooh, Teri's onto something. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow.
Muted to this guy's laughter. Signal of Danganronpa.
Yeah. Yeah.
How dare you!
It wasn't me, it was chat.
Uh-huh.
Chat.
Yeah, it's clearly in chat.
It's in chat.
I clearly have seen a shelf before. God.
How do you know that I was talking to you?
Because I've seen a shelf before.
It's gonna be my argument for everything.
Yeah.
Why do you think you deserve this job?
Because I've seen a shelf before.
This is definitely not the first time I've seen a shelf. Okay?
The more you say it, the more I wonder.
The shelf.
Who told you that it was my first time seeing a shelf? Steve?
Steve's never seen a shelf. They're projecting.
Steve's always telling people that.
Just telling lies. Shelf-related lies.
Source of the powder has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
I should probably take a good hard look at that powder.
Sort it.
There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle.
I think.
No, that one I'm sure about. It's the only thing I'm sure about.
Based on what I know about bottles and how they break.
You see, I've seen one or two before. I'm not actually sure how many because I don't know about that last one, but...
But I guess without further proof, I just have to take it as fact. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder.
Shellg.
Wow,
chat is having trouble spelling words, huh?
Seen a shelf before. I've seen so many shelves I know how to spell it. God.
But it wasn't you, it was chat.
Man,
Based-
calling chat out.
Based on the positioning of the footprints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. Left side of the shelf. My bad.
My bad.
According to Byakuya, the powder would had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now.
Nice. Footprints in the powder have been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Can I ask a question? If they went to all this effort to, I assume, poison that protein drink, why did they then stick a sticker label on it that said Lab Chem C4?
Sticker label.
It was A2, I think, not C4.
A2. It's the same thing, but why did they go to the effort to put a lab sticker on a poison drink? Just give her the poison.
I don't know.
It's already from here.
But why were the protein drinks stickered for the lab?
Because all chemical compounds are in the lab, including the protein powder, if I remember right.
And when this room was first opened up, Sakura was in here being like, "They've got protein powder!"
Yep, and Celeste, of course, pointed out, and there's poison!
And poison.
And also the poison. The poison for Sakura. Sakura's poison. The poison made specifically for Sakura.
Sakura's poison.
Sakura's poison.
That poison. Let's see. What's on the shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines.
That image is just... It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
These labels are amazing.
Yep. They definitely look like they're wrapping around the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to them makers of Danganronpa.
No,
making bad art.
I do need you to listen to me, but you can make bad art. It's fine. Just listen to me about it.
Exactly. I'm going to complain, but I'm not actually going to stop you. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All of the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number.
There's one that's labeled C right there.
Yeah.
It's right.
Let
it's
him
right
finish.
There.
Let him finish.
So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section A.
It says that right there.
But wait,
There's A on the outside.
There's more.
It's like playing Dora the Explorer.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident?
Or on purpose?
On accidental purpose? So, on this shelf is... It looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are.
They're
Agents.
simply they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss.
Isn't that kind of harsh?
Yes. What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well.
Right, I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf that I've totally seen before.
You know that you're saying this all out loud, right?
All the containers on this shelf, I'm so glad I'm talking in my head, are labeled with the letter B and a number.
I'm right here. You know I can hear you.
And out loud, he's like modulating his voice like this for just seemingly random words and phrases. Like, imagine if you just heard someone going like, yeah, and all the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. How weird would that
be? Well, I mean, that depends on who it is. If it's someone I know, I might fall in love. If it's someone I don't know, then I'd have to get to know them.
Same thing.
So, I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section B.
It's labeled A, B, and C.
They're already labeled.
The shelf.
Let him find out for himself, you guys.
I don't think that Byakuya can figure this out because I'm saying it in my head, and I don't see anything out of the ordinary here.
I'm in pain.
In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. On this shelf is one look, and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals.
One look is all it takes.
One look, and I don't remember the words.
The bells ring.
There it is. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals.
We are now looking at landscapes.
We are now looking at landscapes. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So, I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. I want one for my home.
He definitely actually said that out loud, though.
Yes, he did. It looks like it's split into 3 sections.
He unambiguously said out loud, I guess I should find out more about this shelving unit.
Mind you, that's after he didn't say anything for a while. He just he opened all the cabinets. silently stared at them, went to the next cabinet, silently stared inside, and then out loud, after several minutes, said, I guess I should look more into these shelving units, and has gone quiet again. That is what canonically happened.
You're almost exactly
not
right.
my first
But
time seeing a shelf, but I sure should learn more.
After the first shelf, he did say, but wait, there's more!
It makes it worse.
And then said nothing.
Oh my god.
Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals.
I'm convinced he hasn't died yet because everyone else thinks he's too stupid to figure out the murders, so...
Yeah, probably.
He's easily left for last.
Yeah.
Yes. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there is a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here.
Nice! Chem Lab Shelg has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
God damn
it. I stopped myself from taking a drink just in time.
You could feel the energy.
No, that's my cue to take a drink, actually. I'm just gonna
Yes, hydrate.
I'm starting the long
Cheers.
walk to
Whatever
California.
There's nothing hydrating
I'll
about
see you
what I'm
soon,
doing.
BB.
It's begun.
I'm gonna walk to California so you can kill me, and we'll just get it all over at once.
Slowly.
And I'll just come along for the fun.
Hell yes. I can't wait to see all my friends and then die happy.
You know, it's the best way to go.
Well,
I've
ways.
already. You would.
Next one.
Already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room.
I just want to say real quick, it's absolutely like mind-boggling that of all people to consistently remind others to come back to the game, for it to be Teri.
Here it is a diversion tactic.
It has become a consistent tactic.
But it works, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
It works really well. I definitely don't keep thinking about whatever was said before.
No. I
that would
am
be
the most
weird.
normal person I've ever met.
Really
Well, I can't say anything
though?
against that.
Camera!
I have two things I want to ask about that statement. Have you ever really met yourself, though?
Line?
And ever think about how we say under the sea
Under
and in the ocean?
Damn it, Sean!
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Only because of you, though. You were the
Literally
only
only
reason
because
I
of you.
think about that.
And I just find these stupid moments to bring it up like you do.
You're
How do you
welcome.
feel knowing you've impacted our lives in such a way?
I just like to think that I like to think that on everyone's deathbed, the last thing you all think will be clockamole, and I think that's gonna really bring me the.
It's gonna be the thing
the
about the
resolution.
ocean and the sea.
I'll have both thoughts simultaneously.
Fine.
A surveillance camera. I just don't think I'll ever get used to it. I mean, who can get used to being watched 24/7?
You get used to it.
Oh god, what's the new title?
Oh no. Oh, I didn't even look.
Missed it. It's too fast
Missed
for
it.
me. Too fast, 5 me.
Too fast,
Makoto, I
5:30
admit, you have a good eye for spotting useful clues. Wait.
Sorry about that.
Wow, Byakuya just complimented Makoto. I think he's coming to terms that he's interested in them.
I think he's getting the other side of a tsundere.
By the way, what are you doing for dinner later?
Wanna step on me?
But you also need to learn how to make use of those clears.
Wait, what did it say?
Wait, what did it say?
Am I gonna have to go and watch the VOD just to see all of these? All of these changes?
That's our way of changing the subject line.
Kaz!
No Kaz.
Okay, fine. I guess
I'm not gonna watch the VOD.
I'm just not gonna.
I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I'm gonna wait.
It's not because I don't want to. It's because I'm gonna forget.
I'm gonna wait until it comes up on the Friend Fungus YouTube channel, and then I'll remember to watch it.
Listen to my own voice?
I'm afraid to follow the Friend
do you
Fungus
think I
YouTube channel
am?
because I don't want anyone to find my shameful private YouTube with all my weird playlists from when I was like a teen.
Just do what I do and make yet another YouTube account.
Yes, but I always forget to switch, and then I'm afraid I'm using the wrong one.
Ah, I see.
I have several Twitters.
What the reference was.
See, my different accounts have such vastly different recommendations that I know immediately which one I'm on.
I just keep doing the same thing under different pseudonyms.
There you go.
Silently watch videos with the SS.
Oh.
Oh no. Yeah, it'd be like that.
Well, the rec room is this room with the target painted on it.
I wonder what it means.
Mean.
Oh Jesus, this is me.
I was like, is that you, Sin?
So Makoto, how's your investigation going?
The Pepsi Man main theme is recommended to the SSS account.
Seems appropriate, honestly.
I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be
lying.
Couldn't have been Hiro.
Lying? That never occurred to me.
Well, I've made some progress of my own.
Sakura's body.
The
shelf of magazines.
And the
Minukanu bottles.
Can't say Minukanu.
Yes. I'm so glad that my legacy is pronouncing Monokuma's name differently every time.
I think I'm too wedded to Kumanimo.
I mean, that's also fair. That is very good.
Every time it's pronounced wrong, oh, sorry.
These three things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look them over one more time.
Every time what?
I've already forgotten what I was saying, if I'm being honest with you.
Nice!
Nice line!
God, you just can't tell me your fucking self, can you?
I know, it's like, why don't they just, if they solved it, just solve it.
According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
Just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out.
That's why I was investigating the body.
Yeah, I know, but...
That's why I threw this question mark at this body.
Oh, that's great. The question marks are real. He just carries them in his pocket and throws them at things.
You know he doesn't carry them in his pockets. He carries them in trash.
In trash can. You're right. I misspoke.
/lover.
Yeah. I still need to meet.
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? He just stares at things and then stands silently for 10 minutes.
I mean, it's true.
It says something about shelves.
But wait, there's
no
more.
getting around it.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
I just was saying, but wait, there's more. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. What? Although, there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal.
Then how can you?
So...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past.
Probably give that some context.
What?
No context.
Sorry, never mind.
No, you definitely need to give context.
No
Kyoko-
I'm
context.
just gonna leave you on that cliffhanger for the next time.
Kyoko never
Only
gives
weird
context.
things.
For the
I feel
next
like
time
that
you
would-
throw a question mark at me.
I feel like that would really put her at the top of the list without explanation. I'm just putting that out there.
More importantly, look at this mustard stain.
I'm gonna say mustard.
I think she peed on her foot.
Look at this piss stain. Look at this piss stain.
No,
You
they
can't
come
nickel
like
back
that.
at me. It's illegal.
Wow. Her shoes?
Correct.
You see that
Yellow powder.
on her instep?
You
It's
know
not
what
her
it is?
instep.
Kyoko, that's not her
It's not.
instep.
The whole fucking
That's
foot,
not.
It's the top of her. It's the top.
It's literally
That's-
every part but the instep.
But
Everything
the instep.
else.
Yeah, that's
God.
not the instep.
I'm in
Yeah, it-
psychic damage.
It really stands out, but also it's not her instep.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1.
Nice. Yellow powder has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
It's just the makers of this game had full control over both the art and the dialogue. Like they had full control over that. No one could tell them what to do, and they still did it wrong. It just I don't line.
Have you? I mean, let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Before this moment, have you seen Sakura's feet before?
No.
So
I mean, this is
you
just
don't know.
the episode.
Hold on. So you don't know if she has backwards feet, do you?
I'm looking at her feet right now on her body. They're not backwards.
Oh, you can tell that from here. From that
Yes.
poorly rendered mess of leg down there.
Oh, actually, Terry, there was
Everything's poor.
a part of the game fairly early on that you missed where Sakura goes, "It's my shame I have upside down feet."
But, like, even if
Makoto
they're
goes,
backwards,
"Upside
only
down feet?" And she goes, "Yes, their feet they're upside down."
Can we make a mod pack?
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Make a mod
grew, my feet grew onto my legs upside down.
Even if they're backwards, it's on the top of her foot. It's not even
That's
on
why
the
they're
side.
upside down, not backwards.
Oh, that would be the bottom of the foot. They'd have to
Go on top.
They'd have to
But
get a
it's
45
the bottom
angle.
is still closer to the instep.
I have 90-degree angle feet. They're turned weirdly. Don't look at them.
Remember when we dunked on Sakura's feet for like minutes?
This is just a feet episode. I don't know.
It is.
Feet.
Ooh.
Feet.
Next is the
Wound to her head.
look carefully.
It's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me
you,
just
Kyoko.
explain how looking
Thank-
works.
But thank Christ, just say it.
it would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received
2 blows to the head.
2 blows?
Twice.
Oh, I think
Twice.
I think I get it.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing. Behind
an
door
interesting
number
thing?
2.
Is it an interesting thing my eyes can land on?
Both of her hands were spotless.
There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So, that's what I learned from examining her body in detail.
She wiped her glasses after she died. Shit.
Glasses?
Kyoko's examination summary has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Wait, no.
Yeah,
I don't know what
in
what do you mean by
a
glasses?
previous chapter, Sakura had glasses for a short time.
I don't know what to believe.
She
anymore.
said, "It's my greatest shame. I wear glasses."
No, I almost believed you for a second.
It's my
No.
greatest
I love
shame.
that. Man, thank you
My
so
upside
much.
down eyes.
You are all so
upside down
welcome.
eyes, said Makoto.
Everything's
Yes,
a
they're
lie.
eyes that grew in upside down.
See,
I wear glasses upside down.
This is revenge for Quantum I understand
learned-
that now.
I learned from a very young age that because I don't joke around that often, it's very easy to make people believe utter nonsense
You just
if I'm
sounded
the
so
one
serious.
saying it. That's also because sarcasm was my main form of humor growing up.
It's fair.
One of the clues in the last case was that Hifumi's glasses got cleaned between when we first found his quote-unquote body and when we next found his quote-unqu't body.
What?
So it
I
became.
I don't.
it
You know what?
became-
I don't believe anything you guys say anymore. Line.
wasn't
No,
dead to begin
that's
with.
real, Terry. That actually happened.
No, line.
I do
which
believe
I-
that one.
Which
Fool
I,
me once,
Terry-
shame on me. Fool me twice. Eat some
Shame on
pancakes or
everyone?
something and go away.
Terry, you can
Found
literally go
out-
watch the fucking VOD.
No, you know I'm not going to.
I later found out.
Well,
that
you can
we
either do that or
we-
believe what we say.
We
I'm just
literally
gonna...
talked to him the next time we found his body, so we knew he wasn't dead to begin with, and I don't know why they made us go through that whole part of the trial.
No,
Wait,
I'm going
what?
to. I'm going to choose option
so
C,
weird.
which is I'm not going to believe anything you say.
Press X to doubt.
It's fair.
I'm pressing
but fair.
X.
Did you read this line, Moon?
Not yet.
No.
I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off.
No one could have noticed this huge mustard stain on her shoe but Kyoko.
Only Kyoko has, like, vision that isn't legally blind, so that's why we have to let her do everything. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind.
Now that definitely is not a shelf. That's a poster.
It's saying
It's-
clue, clue, clue out loud.
Clue.
Clue. See, to me, it looks like a page of card sleeves, and it's just a single card in each sleeve.
Oh my god, it does.
You right.
Huh?
No, you right.
This magazine is upside down, like Sakura's feet and eyes.
You fucking got Sean
Okay,
so bad.
fine.
I'm sorry, but you're welcome.
I was just trying to breathe and then I couldn't anymore. It's fine.
Sorry.
It's normal.
I'm sorry. I don't actually want to kill you all. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
Hey,
Don't
Don't.
It's a medical condition.
You're right, Alpha Geek.
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right.
We waited until the fourth murder to teach us how to do an investigation. looking closer
Yeah.
at things.
I think she's getting like she has less and less hope in Makoto as time goes on. Like she's just like, wow, he really does need my help. He just doesn't learn it on his own. I gave him 3 tries and he still didn't learn it, so I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is one of the pages near the center of the magazine. A word had been written in blood, in bold, bloody letters. I was about to say blood, bloody letters.
I know what it looks like. I know what it looks like. It's actually Leon upside down.
No, I think it's Akato. Akat.
Wait, Sakura's hands were completely free of blood.
You know what? You're actually right. You're very right there.
It's like playing Dora the Explorer. I don't... Look, I'm gonna make my call shot. I think it's a wild card. I think it was Haina.
Could be. I really don't know on this one.
And it's guessing.
And it said Toko. Could this be a dying message?
Correct.
Then it would appear you found it.
So she found it and then put it back?
Apparently.
Kyoko's constantly doing shit like that.
Is this?
So...
It is indeed a dying message. Someone
used their finger to write it.
A dying message.
However...
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down.
I think she was.
I think you would have had to have.
No, it definitely wasn't me.
I think Kyoko found this immediately after we left, and then stood there for like maybe the whole time we were gone, like thinking Makoto will see this if it's not upside down, right? He'll definitely investigate it. Oh, I better put it upside down. He'll never see it.
Yeah. He'll check everything else, but not that.
Gotta make it just a little bit weird so I can say that's weird, right? Look closer.
I swear, it was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking.
It's not wildly suspicious. Oh!
Oh,
It's a dime.
Damn.
Oh!
Damn.
You have a line.
Hey, Zap! That says Toko, right?
There you go.
Sora!
Yeah, it looks like it.
Well, she's the killer, right?
Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer.
I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious.
It is detectives. The real police have already been here.
The real police being Kyoko.
Magazine dying message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Oh, the magazine was dying.
Exactly.
Toko killed this magazine.
Wow. And that, folks, is why you don't put reading material upside down.
That's a really
it dies.
big candy wrapper.
It kills it. It kills
Thank
the Put a book in upside down, it kills the book.
It does.
The book dies.
It becomes, yeah, it sucks the life right out of it.
Take it from me, kids, a real librarian.
Would you guys know I've had so many lines in this game that I've been able to silently eat half a bag of potato chips with no issue whatsoever.
Oh, nice.
That's how you do it.
I've been trying to secretly
Amazing.
eat an ice cream sandwich for the last minute or two. But I have every
Nobody's
other
heard
line,
anything.
so that makes it much harder.
Ate a plate full of enchiladas.
Also, I'm
You did.
a full small bottle of whiskey in.
Pro-ass streamers in here.
Oh, yeah. Food breaks? What are those?
Oh, right, we're live.
I killed a lot of books.
Is this a rehearsal? The new clues that Sakura's body revealed? Hey, Lep! Lep, I see what you did there.
Oh my
God.
god.
Damn
First
you.
First was the yellow powder stuck to the instep, but not really, of her shoe.
Shouldn't they instep? Never mind.
And there's
No,
the
we've been
wound on
over
her head.
Has
It's now
upside
clear
down
that she
shoe
suffered-
feet.
2 blows to the head.
And
Indeed.
Both of her hands were spotless.
there's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
Right.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail.
I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. Like she'd been trained in examinations or something. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off.
Can't believe to learn that.
Whoa, excuse me.
Where do I go from here?
Do we
So there
normally
are-
get through a whole case in a stream? I don't think we do.
Oh.
Gotta look at the Kumanimo bottles.
You right.
Humanimo.
Yeah.
Mono.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Kiyamano bottles.
Do-do-do-do.
Did I say it right that time? I don't know.
I don't think there's any such thing.
Something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Two missing.
We only do a whole case in a stream when the trial starts, and we go, this should be quick.
Oh my goodness.
So then
Teri.
we start the trial going, we can save in the middle of the trial, and then we try to save in the middle of the trial and we can't.
Yep. But Teri, you figured it out.
We're missing. It's hard to
You
tell what the pieces are,
figured
but it's
it
either
out.
the king or queen. And the knight was on the floor.
The weird
Yeah.
spacing that I noticed had a purpose.
Oh wow.
So, did you figure it out?
No.
There's a hidden
Correlation.
between all the bottles. Pay careful attention, and you're sure to find it.
If the hidden correlation is chess, I'm gonna fucking scream.
A correlation.
Say it.
Don't
do it.
Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
Teri, be prepared to scream.
Don't do it.
Yes,
Please.
do.
Please. It's not a secret.
Oh, this is me.
It's
I
the
don't
whole
mind
thing.
guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome.
But what if I don't have confidence in myself? And it's not just because you don't trust me, right?
You tried believing in your dreams?
I already told you no. No answer? Well, we got a raid.
Arthur!
Hey, Arthur!
With the raid. Thank you. Welcome in. How was stream?
No answer?
What?
I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with.
Interesting. Only to a degree? Like associates, bachelors, masters? What are we talking here?
Kunamiko. Kunamiko. Kunamiko bottle has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Is the big secret that they're chess pieces?
I hope
It's
so.
either that or that there's a fifth one.
Actually, there's
One other thing.
about the Miyagamo bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an
Experiment.
to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right?
An experiment?
Anyway,
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Makakamo bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too.
There's too many pieces for one bottle.
Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with a crime scene like that?
that doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya, not.
Just sound it out.
Good lord.
That was a little weak.
No, not you. You're fine.
And that obnoxious Byakuya's not here, so.
So then,
Anyway.
Right here. Followed Makoto in.
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass and ignore Byakuya who's standing right there.
Heard
that-
everything you've said about me.
With that, Kyoko left the room. It was just me and Byakuya and the glass and Sakura's body and the magazine shelf and a bunch of other things.
I followed Makoto's feet. I mean, steps.
Thank you for that, guys.
Very good.
I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up,
Is that
Sorry
me?
to keep you
Oh,
waiting,
okay.
but I've been standing here the whole time. Definitely
Watching
not
yo.
Miyaki.
I don't, yeah, Byakuya wouldn't say sorry.
I'm assuming
Honestly, I'm not sure on this one.
I'm
Manakama?
assuming it's
Probably-
Kyoko, but I don't know why they wouldn't just tell us this.
I
This is
don't
more than
think...
likely Monokuma, yes.
I'm thinking, yeah, Monokuma seems
It's already been
most
said,
likely.
line.
You say it.
Oh. Sorry to keep you waiting.
so then,
Oh,
it
is it
me.
was?
Wait, it was
What?
someone else.
Why not
It
just
seems
Right.
like it's me.
It would be.
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work.
So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
She jumps at us with a shard of glass and stabs us in the throat.
I see how long it takes for you to die.
Oh, fascinating.
I got
You'll
a
have to
scale
tell
from
me
the
later.
lab. We're going to
Only
use it to compare
Kyoko could have
weights.
figured that out.
Compare the weights of what?
The
Pieces of glass.
you collected, and one of the
Kumamano bottles.
that's still intact.
Why do you want to do that?
That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
Cute little Mano.
I get what she's doing, but all the chess pieces inside are different sizes and therefore probably different weights. So I feel like they're not all going to weigh the same unless you can take the piece out.
Yes, but the difference between the chess pieces is probably not going to be more than the difference between two bottles.
That's fair. If I don't see the chess piece from the broken bottle on the scale, I'm going to scream.
First, let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monaco.
Oh, I was just gonna say it normal.
You
that
just
time.
said it correctly. What the fuck?
No, you went Monacoom. Just
Log
off
over
the
it.
last day.
The
Everyone go home.
Monaco's bottles.
Oh, don't say kimono
No,
commies.
I don't like that.
Say that. You can't say
I
that.
said it.
No.
It's illegal.
No, I've already
No.
said it.
No.
And I'd say it again.
I'm gonna say
fact-
so many guacamole jokes.
Teri, yes,
In
I was
fact, I'm
about
gonna
to say,
say
can
it
you
3
bring
more
back
times, but you
guacamole?
won't know which ones.
Oh my.
Why are you punishing me for sins?
Monokami's roulette. Let's go.
It's like that episode of How I Met Your Mother. We're just waiting for the slaps. It's balanced.
In other words,
Which means each Makanuka bottle weighs about the same.
See, now I'm scared every time, and I don't like that.
That's the point. Which makes sense. The Humaka figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
Gas.
Cats
Monokami
can't
is my
monetize
capital
the
stream.
YouTube.
It definitely
video
wasn't
now.
monocomies that you said.
Oh, are we trying to monetize the YouTube channel?
It's too late for that. Should have invited me on at all.
I'm fine with being censored. As long as it's like a fart or a duck noise or something.
Or just
or like a mayo splurge. Just like a
That's worse.
No,
like
that's
instead
not
of me
good.
saying monokummies, it's like mono.
Fine. Fine.
Yeah.
Line.
Line.
Line. Line.
Line.
Did you read that line actually?
I don't know anymore.
I did, yes.
Now, here comes the important part.
Stabs us in the throat with a shard of glass.
Put all the pieces you picked up in your throat. I mean, on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see?
What if we get a scale?
From the chem
The
lab.
chem lab.
That's why
It
Kyoko
wasn't-
left
Keep up,
us with
Teri.
We
Byakuya.
went through the whole lab and this was not in those shells, and I've seen shells before.
Shells before.
Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here or there.
so then,
Okay, then let's give it a try.
I choose to believe that Kyoko waited that long. That was a canon in-universe pause. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible? Also, the plastic bag should not have been standing up like that.
Just
But
as I
they
thought.
filled it with water for their goldfish.
Yes. Yep. What?
in other words,
The results of our experiment
And the
correlation between each of the bottles.
put it all together, and what do you got? Bibbidi, but I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion.
We already knew she got hit twice.
She got hit twice.
Ice!
They already said
So, what do you think? It's all on you.
I'm taking psychic damage from this.
Ice! The Akuma bottle experiment has been added to the bullet section of your handbook.
Monokami's bottle experiment has been added to the section of your handbook.
It
Well,
wasn't
there's
even your
one.
turn.
2 left.
Yeah, that takes a double because that wasn't even your turn.
What are you talking about? These are my words on the
No,
Yes.
I voted you out.
screen. That's not how that works.
No, we all did a vote, and
We all
you're
did a
off
vote,
the
actually.
island.
Yeah,
Why
we
did I
did a vote.
You're off the
Don't
Cummy
they vote?
Island.
Because this isn't a fair system.
Yeah.
But also we
live in a
outnumber
society.
you. So.
You know what? In that case, I vote you all out.
We outnumber you,
we
so
have the
it's never
majority.
gonna happen.
Look at me. I am the one who runs the stream.
I am the one who
You
clicks.
caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring, I couldn't stay away.
Terry?
Oh God, same. Oh wait, I forgot.
This
I have
is
lines. I forgot I have lines. Oops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring, I couldn't stay awake.
Should I do it? Is it
Should
okay?
I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I?
Okay, then let's begin.
It's really weird to talk over him talking. Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right?
Oh, it's weird to talk
Please
over
go
him
through the
talking.
red door on the first floor of the school.
About us, Terry. What about us?
See you soon. I don't know how to pronounce those. It is what it is.
No, you pronounced it exactly right.
I would
Maybe
definitely
hats.
pronounce it.
I
Poo
still
hoo
think that
hoo.
there's like a silhouette
Yeah.
of a man behind him instead of a chair.
Oh, you're right.
It's
It
weird.
really does look like that. It's already time? It's time?
Right.
Did they just say it's time? But the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial.
So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not awake enough to sit through a whole trial.
No, me either. This is actually really
Okay,
good.
Yeah,
God,
this
This
is-
is
okay.
really good. This is
Because
really good.
We've been
timing.
going
I
for
was
coming
just
up on
making
4
sure.
hours. So.
Yeah, I think
I
we're
was-
right at 4 hours.
Mhm.
God.
This is
No.
good timing for us to not feel tempted to jump into the trial. now.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We've
I'm ready to
definitely
go.
just been playing the game for 4 hours, no stops, no breaks.
We had one break about an hour in.
Definitely haven't had to wait for people to unmute because they were laughing so hard.
No. It's
No podcast in the middle.
No podcast in the
no
middle.
podcast in the middle, or at the start, or at the end there.
No.
That's not how we roll.
Not whatever happens. I have to make something happen.
Oh no. It's again.
Oh.
No, it's again.
It's again.
It's again.
All right,
So do you just
everyone.
save now?
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
just gonna
save.
save now.
Go save.
Thank you all so much for doing this with us today. I want to give a special shout out to Miles and Sean and Terry and Moon and Dime. Did I forget anyone?
I didn't ask for that.
Well,
Astaroth.
I mean,
yes,
of the
and
voice
Kaz.
actors. I think
You
that was
forgot
it.
yourself.
I think that was everyone.
I don't.
We also need to thank
I
Sid.
forgot who you said. If I'm being honest.
This isn't about me.
It kind of is.
You did the
Anyways,
most
thanks,
talking
Cass, for
almost.
running the stream and updating the title and doing that one thing at some point in the stream that apparently is.
Oh
worth
no, Kaz
watching.
did that a bunch of times.
Yeah, Kaz has been doing that pretty much constantly.
Pretty much the
Yeah,
whole
that's
time.
why I have to go back and watch the whole VOD.
Oh, okay.
One made me
Thanks
mute
for
myself.
doing that.
Yeah.
And
Put in a
everything
whole
else
bunch
you
of
do for lending us your computing
jokes.
power.
Who are we rating out to today?
Mhm.
That's a great question. You
Knitting?
decide, Dime.
Oh, put on the
What
spot.
of our?
Oh, will you
what
save
are-
again, please?
What are our
Again?
options?
Okay, one more.
We got.
Can you do down at the and then another if you don't. Yeah, there you go.
We got Fred.
And then
Fungus.
just like a couple more. Okay,
It's
and then
us.
just if you just do that, yeah. So
we
like
could
if you just go
do-
down, yeah. So there's actually more slots. There's more.
No, we're
Anyone
done.
check
more.
anyone? If not, we can just go to creative.
Oh, is creative
Spasms.
on?
Mhm.
Creative spasms.
Mhm.
Let's do a creative.
All right.
I've never once been creative in my entire life.
That's nuts.
Yuck.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Get
yeah, yeah.
Thank
outta
you for being
here.
here, everyone. May
Yes, thank you
moss
to-
consume your body and peace consume your soul.
I'm
And
never
don't
going to
forget
be here
the next
again.
Frungus stream on Saturday. It's something.
Certainly something.
It'll be
Something
never
is going
hear
to
from me
happen on the
again.
stream on this weekend.
Never
Certainly
again
got
will you hear
something
my
planned.
voice. Enjoy it while you can.
It's either a podcast or a community day or art
or something.
Or
We might play
Minecraft.
tag.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So
Well,
first,
Thanks for being horrible. Goodbye.
I didn't ask for your gratitude.
making bad art.
Goodbye, bad art.
Keep
Just the
making bad art.
Only the bad art.
Time to make
Don't
some
Only
good art.
bad art.
guacamole.
And whatever.
Thank
the
your
time.
trash
sign-off
fans
is.
for
It's the
keeping
time
the
'cause
clues.
clock's
Don't
guacamole.
forget. You're all right,
For
I
the-
guess.
For the arms on the clock.
Have you ever thought about how weird
It's
it
got
is that we
hands.
say under the sea but in the ocean?
Clock's got hands on him. Isn't that weird? Got more hands than most bugs do, them clocks.
Teri.
Not even alive.
And most bugs?
Please get us out of here.
It's a ladybug.
Wait, what about the... Oh.